Outside, the rain had started to pour down hard. However, inside the cousin's room it was loud and cheery. It could have been raining spears and no one would have paid any attention. Take that, full house, take that! You weren't bluffing. The cousins were all bursting with energy, sitting in a circle on the bed. I thought Butler had crap in his hands every time he acted tough. Of course, I've been losing all this time just to make you think that. Ushiromiya Butler, the man who loses strategically to win in the end. Oh, Butler's amazing! All of my coins are gone again. I'll give you some of mine. Let's crush Butler together, okay? With just a deck of cards, the cousins could enjoy themselves for many hours. They were so engrossed that the occasional thunderbolt hardly even registered as static in the background. I'm starting to get hungry. I wonder if dinner's ready yet. Who knows? It should be ready soon. Goda-san and the others really went all out for tonight. Which means we've got a lot to look forward to. Is this to celebrate my long-awaited return? I heard from Shannon just now that it's going to be a Halloween party. They'll set up a buffet in the hall. Sounds incredible. A Halloween party? Hello? Who is it? There was a knock. The door opened and Ange was there. Ange had been sleeping in her parents' room. Oh, it's you, Ange. So you woke up. They said it's dinner, so we have to go to the mansion. They said to get ready. Food! Food! I'm hungry! Perhaps because she was the hungriest, Maria celebrated more vigorously than anyone else. She jumped up happily and hopped off the bed. All the others had clambered off the bed and started putting their shoes on. Kirie and Rudolph came into view. Hey brats, time for food, so get ready. It looks like today will be extra special. I can't wait to see. Oh, I know. It's a Halloween party. A Halloween party? I know, and Ange doesn't. Mom, what's a Halloween party? Who knows? We'll have to go and see for ourselves. Everyone's ready? It's about time to go. Is everyone here? Please, follow me. Maria, over here. Your collar's crooked. I'm so hungry. The food is the best part of these family conferences. Are you hungry too, Ange-chan? Eva smiled at Ange. Yeah, I'm starving. Ange? Yes, I am, right? Don't worry about it. Yeah, I bet you're starving. My stomach's rumbling too. Okay, let's get out of here. Looks like the wind's blowing hard outside. Make sure you don't lose your umbrellas. Everyone, please take an umbrella. Here's your umbrella, Ange-chan. Thanks, Auntie Eva. Oh, girls really are so cute. Come over here to play at your auntie's house one of these days. It's a promise, okay? Looks like Auntie Eva's taking a liking to Ange. Yeah. Apparently Mother actually would have liked a daughter. Oh, I've heard that too. I think she doted on me too when I was little. My mama said she... But no. My mama said she actually wanted a son. If your kid grows up happily, it doesn't matter if they're a boy or a girl. Maria is precious, a precious gift from God. When they got outside and the wind was fairly strong, they got outside and the wind was fairly strong. Eva, who had now really hit it off with Ange, offered to share an umbrella with the little girl. It was hard to tell what they were chatting so excitedly about, but it seemed that they were already getting along splendidly. Butler opened his umbrella as he watched this. His little sister was so cute when she clung to him, but she was just as cute and adorable when looking up to someone else with a happy smile. The wind and rain were very strong, but even this must have been the perfect spice to heighten their anticipation of the coming meal. Oh, far. Whoa! Thanks to some festive decorations, the main hall had been remade into the scene of a Halloween party. The Ushiromiya family always took meals in the dining hall. This was the first time I'd ever seen a buffet-style party set up in the main hall.
Yo, Batola! Oh, Maria!
Mi ho dimenticato. Ah, ma tra l'altro hai un vestito elegante. Yo, Batra! Vabbè. Ehi, Maria, long time no see!
Happy Halloween! Trick or treat!
I have some candy for you, but now is not the time. After all, it's just before a meal. Thank you, Beatrice-san. I see you're looking as beautiful as ever. You too, Rosa. One would never guess you to be a mother. Have you been drinking? Your ears are looking pretty red there. Oddio. Oh no, Beatrice si è ubriacata insieme a Kinzo con l'assenzio. Well, after you left, Kinzo told me he'd come into possession of an unusual drink, and well, a little alcohol never hurt anyone. And this coming from a person who tells little kids not to eat candy before a meal. Pardon me, Beatrice-sama, the master is calling for you. I saw Kinzo beckoning from over by the portrait. Good grief. When it comes to ceremony, that man is always so obsessed with form. It's probably that stuff about a ceremony for the girl's return. This is a huge turning point for the Ushiromiya family. You better go and play along. Does make me feel a bit lonely though. This won't change the fact that you are the Ushiromiya family alchemist. Perhaps. Then I'll be back shortly. See you later, okay? According to Genji, today's party has a bit of a twist to it. You'd better look forward to it. You make it sound like you did. You make it sound like you did any of the work. You're another one who's obsessed too much over details. Later. Oni-chan, is something going to happen today? Is it a special day? It looked as though even Ange picked up on that much. She seemed to be getting tense for no reason. This is a special day for the Ushiromiya family. But it doesn't have anything to do with you personally, so you should just relax. Okay. Oh, that's right. Hey, did you know? I just heard a huge secret from Auntie Eva. Even Maria Onece doesn't know, but I'll tell you. So, what's the secret? So, yeah, I heard that if there's an almond in it, you win. Win? Is it like a lottery or something? Anyway, if you get an almond, you win. Ange puffed out her cheeks, so cute. Apparently she wanted to be praised for sharing this exciting secret. But just hearing that almonds win didn't really explain much. Okay, got it. Thanks for letting me in on that major secret. You're mean, Oni-chan. And I even told you my secret. Ange, her cheeks still puffed out, headed back to where Auntie Eva was. They are really getting along well. Still, I guess I have no problem if it's her aunt. If it was some guy from her class, I don't care if they're both in elementary school, it's not happening. No playing with the opposite sex without Oni-chan's approval. At that moment, Genji-san's voice rang out. The chatter gradually subsided and the rain outside once again became apparent. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you for your silence. Silence filled the room. All of the relatives seemed vaguely aware that tonight's festivities consisted of more than a Halloween party. Butler already knew. This was a ceremony to mark the return of the gold from Kinzo to Beatrice, which had been borrowed for so many years. First off, the fact was announced by Kinzo himself. He spoke of how this gold had not only restored the Ushiromiya family, but brought it to a level of wealth it had never before experienced. He spoke of how he would finally return this gold to Beatrice, the one who had saved the Ushiromiya family. A weighty ingot decorated with bright red ribbon passed from his hands to hers. The debt that the Ushiromiya family owes to the 3 generations of Beatrice, the Golden Witch, is one that we shall never forget. Dear me. I have nowhere to put it, but I suppose I can take it off your hands. Beatrice-sama. Despite her status, Beato's remark earned her a surprising warning from Genji. I couldn't help but laugh. I am Beatrice, the Ushiromiya family alchemist. Tonight, I acknowledge the end of the loan contract for the 10 tons of gold. Many decades have passed since my grandmother's generation. The time has come for the eagle that lost one wing to fly once more. I will watch over that eagle, and I pray for its prosperity in all generations to come. Applause filled the hall. Though she just managed to make such a dignified speech, as soon as it was over she stuck her tongue out and leered at us. I guess that's about the limit to how long Beato can stay serious. By passing her name on through the generations, Beatrice the Golden Witch may live for thousands of years. Therefore, even her descendants shall be Beatrice, and all shall be the alchemists to this family. The descendants of the Ushiromiya family will praise Beatrice for her gratitude forevermore, and this will be passed on through the generations. This family will always be indebted to Beatrice, and she will always be our family, tied by a noble bond. Let those who agree show their recognition with their applause. Onegai itashimasu. After Genji's words, the relatives all looked at each other, then started applauding at once. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Beatrice, you are a member of the Ushiromiya family, and your bond to us is more sacred than one of blood. The relationship between debtor and creditor is indeed more important than blood. Beatrice-sama. After that, Kinzo's long-winded speech continued. Tonight, Kinzo would retire as the Ushiromiya family head. Then he announced that he would reveal the distribution of his inheritance. A stir of excitement spread across the siblings in money trouble when they heard that they wouldn't have to wait for Kinzo's death to get their inheritance. I am aware that each of you is in trouble with money. This should be enough to resolve all of those problems. But do not grow complacent. This is my inheritance given to you before my death. In the past, though I have been strict, I have always watched over you. However, beginning tonight, your father will cease to provide support of that kind. I shall watch on as you take flight, as though watching down upon from the heavens. No longer will I interfere. You may live however you please. Dad. Father. We understand. You need not have fear that we will take. You need. Ok, mamma mia, come lo dici, Eva. We understand. You need have no fear. Mamma mia. We understand. You need have no fear that we'll take flight on our own. Here and now, all of us siblings swear to work together to make the Ushiromiya family even more prosperous. That's right. If we stick together, nothing can stand in our way. Hideyoshi laughed, but Genji admonished them. However, we could understand why they were so happy. So far, the siblings had quarreled ruthlessly over the inheritance. However, this evening, the inheritance had been neatly split apart, and they no longer had any need to scheme for money. In other words, the siblings no longer had any reason to squabble with each other anymore. On the contrary, this was a time for them to join hands and help each other become more and more prosperous. Eva and Rosa were sniffling with tears in their eyes. And so was Rudolph. Perhaps now, even at their ages, they had finally left the nest. Tonight, the eagles of the Ushiromiya family will leave Rokkenjima, the nest weaved from the witch's magic, and go their separate ways, with their own power and determination. It made Kinzo think, if only he had done this from the start. If he had settled the inheritance problem himself, there would have been no need for his children to quarrel at all. Instead, he had acted in a sullen manner and left the problem to them, which had resulted in their strained relationships to each other. Yes, all of that had been his responsibility, and now he was disentangled. He had been like an invisible rope wrapped around Kinzo's body. The rope had now come loose, and he felt a sense of release he hadn't experienced for many years. The four siblings stepped forward, and before Kinzo, they swore to all support Kraus, the new head, and lead the family to greater prosperity. Their faces sparkled with an unexpected youthfulness. It was only natural, after all the four of them had not been so naturally united since the time they were kids. As the vibrancy of their youth returned to them, the siblings banded together once again. When Kraus finished his announcement, a warm round of applause filled the hall. The cousins and the servants too joined in on the applause that continued on and on. Ange watched this dumbfounded. The four siblings had quarreled with each other constantly since they were kids, supposedly. Supposedly they had pointlessly locked swords with Kinzo's inheritance as their goal, their worries over money spurring them on. Even the world of truth, the world I acknowledge, had been rewritten by this golden ceremony. They were actually friendly towards each other, or did they quarrel all the time like I believe? It doesn't matter. Either way, right here, right now, all of those problems had been resolved. I mustn't believe. This is just Onichan's farce. Even though I knew that fact, when I watched Dad and the others hugging each other with teary smiles on their faces, I couldn't help but feel something warm welling up in my eyes. You won't believe it. All of this is just another part of your farce. What will you have to see? What will you have to hear before you let yourself believe? Red. If you say it with the red truth, is everything you can say in red a lie? I won't believe. This is just... Angel looked at the floor and fell silent. As the game master, Butler was able to use the red truth. However, the rule only exists on the witch's game board. In the world of humans, red truth doesn't exist. People see things, hear things, and when they believe that something is worth believing, they accept it as a red truth. Unless Ange accepts it, no kind of truth can become truth. Butler wanted her to realize this. There was no point in using the red truth, a rule of this game, to force the truth on her. Ange would have to use her own power, her own heart, to accept the truth as truth. The decision was Ange's. No one could force her to decide either way. So there was nothing wrong with Ange declaring this scene to be a farce. But if so, then what was the meaning of the hot tears dripping down Ange's face? Ange would have to consider that herself, without anyone telling her. After one sniffle and a rub of her eyes, Ange let the 6-year-old version of herself take control of her piece. What follows was an harmonious, fun stretch of time. Beautifully adorned dishes were brought in one after another, and champagne corks were loosened with pleasant sounds. Several small tables were set here and there, each with its own theme. That was where the fun lay in the stand-up buffet party, as the guests wandered from table to table pondering what they should eat first. This sort of performance was where Goda's genius shone through. The hotel that let him go should probably regret ever having done so. Of course, a stand-up buffet would probably be a tiring affair for the middle-aged, see. So chairs had been set up as well. However, each time a new dish was brought into the hall, they could get up to look and wander the tables however they pleased. This way, they could each bump into a new group of people, then mingle elsewhere when that group melted apart. People are interesting. As the member in each group changed, so did the topic of conversation. The bustling Halloween party played out like a colorful kaleidoscope. The origami chains decorated the walls, recalled one to one's youth. One to one, non capivo, ok. The origami chains decorated the walls, recalled one to one's youth. They would make anyone enjoy themselves as they did when they were kids. Even to Ange, this was like a dream. She chatted happily with her cousins. She also chatted with her aunts and uncles. Beato showed her several tricks that she called magic. Maria said they were magic. Ange said they were tricks, and the night grew even more lively. The two young girls were so fired up that the adults decided to show some tricks they knew, shocking both of the kids utterly. Eventually, they each started showing tricks to the other, asking if they ever seen this one or that one before. And it became a party of magic, just perfect for Halloween. In addition to magic tricks, several quizzes, riddles and games popped up, reminding everyone of their childhood days. Even the servants who were serving the food got dragged into the groups, and the whole hall filled with chatter. To Ange, young as she was, every single magic trick, quiz and riddle was an entirely new experience. They stimulated her intellectual curiosity, and she couldn't contain her excitement. Add in the wide variety of delicious foods and drinks she could choose from, and it was like being in a dream. Ange felt a floaty sensation as though she was walking on a cloud. Ange, you didn't drink this, did you? This is Daddy's drink. I wanted to try some adult grape juice too, so it's okay. Your face is looking a little red. Are you feeling okay? She only had a bit, so I think she'll be fine. Average 6-year-old in qualsiasi festa nel Veneto. Ve lo dico io da persona che è cresciuta qui. Appena inizi a camminare, se vuoi prendere un bicchiere di vino ti lasciano. I'll be fine. I'm not a kid. Angel-chan, drink this one, okay? You're dance drinking a bad drink, so don't try it anymore, okay? That's right. If you drink bad stuff, you'll end up as a bad adult too. I'm not gonna be a bad adult. I'm gonna be a princess. That's right. Ange is a princess to all of us. No, yep. Ange is this family's princess. She's a princess to me too. You better come over to my house to play sometime. We'll have lots and lots of fun. Okay. Thanks, Auntie Eva. Everyone was being really nice to me. It almost felt like I'd become a real princess. I felt so great, I could almost believe that this whole celebration was being held for my sake. Butler stood outside that group of people. As he watched Ange smiling happily from a distance, he smiled too. When she smiles like that, she really lives up to her name. It's so sad. I agree. It really is a smile fit for an angel. I hope that that smile belongs to the real Ange and not just a piece. Even if she doesn't, she is watching this. And she can think it through herself. This game between you and Ange really is overflowing with affection. For me, it's almost irritating. What's wrong with that? No one to get in her way, no obstacles or tactics or anything else to worry about. That's right. This game is no longer a battle. I'd call it cleaning up after our game. I will never be able to make up for the sin I did to her through my careless actions. Our game was responsible. We'll make up for our sins together. That's why we're showing Ange this final game. Do you think that Ange will be able to use that key the right way? Of course. I thought about forcibly dragging her in the way we think it's right. Such an attempt may have been meaningless. As long as life is, it is hard to accept as long as life is, it is hard to accept that the decision you were forced into was truly the correct one. Exactly. Ange must think and choose by herself. Even if she doesn't make the decision we view as the correct one, I think we should respect it. You are the game master. It is no longer my place to argue. I will simply watch on and enjoy this night. This game is very significant for Ange, but for us, it's kind of like a party after the show. It's almost time. But are you sure? Ange might get the wrong idea again, right? You'll be fine. In fact, this is necessary. Just like how you appeared in the way you did. And everyone else too. Then let us enjoy this final celebration with the others. After all of them have acted their parts so well in this long game. That instant, the sound of someone clapping for attention rang out. Chi è Genji? No, God. Your attention, everyone, please gather. And now for today's special event. God had been the one clapping. Everyone gathered together, wondering what was going on. On the serving cart in front of him was a large sliced chocolate cake. At the highlight of tonight's Halloween party, I have prepared this sake torte for all of you. Oh, voglio un pezzo. Goda, posso. As you can see, this one was made especially for the Ushiramiya family and bears the crest of the one-winged eagle in chocolate. The stupendous cake drew a gasp of admiration for all present. What a splendid cake! A perfect highlight for the party. Oh no, it's not just a cake. Tonight's cake has a little secret. Master, I ask that you explain that secret to everyone. Very well. This is a bit of a game. There's one tiny thing in this cake that will make you a winner. It's an almond! And they shouted happily. Kinzo looked at her fondly and nodded. In just one slice of this cake, there is a single almond. The one who chooses that piece will become tonight's king. It's been a long time since I last played the king. Since I played the king game. I'm guessing the subject matters was a bit different when you played it. So, what happens to the person who becomes the king? The king's gang gets to name one wish. Then we shall all try to grant it together. Sounds interesting. Oh, kings are boys. Girls can't be kings. If a girl wins, then she will become a princess. The almond, the one with the almond wins, right? Right? That's right. You're incredible, Ange. Times like this are when a man's luck shines through. Can't let myself lose now. Hold up there. Let's let the smallest kids choose first. Good idea. Ange-chan, you can go first. Hey, you're the big cousin now, Maria. Let Ange-chan go first. But what if Ange-chan wins? I'm gonna win. The almond wins. Oh man. It seems we old fogies, si dice. It seems we old fogies must hope that the leftovers are lucky today. If we're going by age, I guess that means Kinzo's last. But weren't you 1,000 years old? Everyone burst out laughing. Her real age was unknown, but she claimed to be 19 years old. In front of Ange laid a large cake, cut so that there was one piece for each of them. Just one of those pieces was the winner. Well then, Ange-sama, which piece would you like? Whichever you choose, it will ever be so delicious. It will be ever so delicious. No way! I only want the winning one. Well then, you have to try and guess right on the first shot. Go ahead, pick one. Butler pushed Ange's small bag towards the table with the cake. Which one should I take? The chocolate cake was cut into 15 pieces. I want to pick the one with an almond and become the princess. One of them has the winning almond. Which could it be? I get to choose first, but it sort of feels unfair. I mean, it is, isn't it? My chances of getting right are 1 in 15. The right one are 1 in 15. There's no way I'll get it. And then when Maria Onechan goes after me, she has a chance in 1 in 14 of picking the winner. Next person has 1 in 13, and then 1 in 12, and the last person will win for sure? Onechan, this isn't fair. The person who goes first has a disadvantage. Everyone laughed. Apparently there was something wrong with my calculations, but it still didn't feel right to me. Come now, let's start this contest of luck with Ange-sama. Please feel free to make your selection. Okay. If I have to pick one out of so many, there's no way I'll win. But for some reason tonight it feels like I might actually win after all. I have no reason for feeling this way, but when I'm in a good mood, Lady Luck always brings me fortune. Have you decided yet? Yeah, I decided. This one. This one's the winner. I concentrated on my fingertip tip and pointed it at one of the 15 slices. The slice I chose was... Choose one of the slices of cake. Quale? Questa. This one. This one? Are you sure? I've made up my mind. I want this one. When he asked me whether I was sure, I felt a little uneasy. Still, at times like this, it's better to stick with your instincts. It was one of the few bits of philosophy that the young girl had learned from her few life experiences. Goda took the chosen slice, put it on a plate with a fork, and handed it to Ange. I go next. Which one should I take? It was Maria's turn next. She was excited and determined to be the winner. I walked away from that group all by myself. I was struck by a temptation to quickly cut the cake open with my fork and check for the almond inside. However, I stopped myself. If I check my piece first, my chance of winning is 1 in 15. However, if I wait for some other people to check their slices, then when I see that they've lost, my chances will go up, if only slightly. In other words, instead of searching for the almond right away, my chances will go up if I wait for some time for some other people to lose. Sì, ok, però nel concreto Ange non cambia niente, poverina, non si rende conto. But if someone picks a winner while I'm sitting around here, the chances of my slice being a winner will go to 0. It'll be tough to calculate the right moment. I need to wait just long enough for as many losers to show up as possible. My chances of winning are highest if I can check my piece immediately before someone else wins. Yeah, that's the trick to winning this game. Huh? What a strange thought. Feels like I'm missing something. Even though no one else can touch the cake that's sitting in front of me, the almond inside it will appear or disappear depending on whether or not the other people win or lose. I was such in a good mood that I felt dizzy and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with my theory. But I did realize that something was strange. There is always just one truth inside a cat box. No matter what happens outside the box, it shouldn't be able to shake the truth inside. And yet, I'm being influenced by events outside the cat box, trying to make them affect my observation of the box contents. I don't even know what I'm saying. Another me inside me is trying to say that, but it's too hard for me to understand. I feel like I'm drifting. I got so cheery and excited that even though I'm not sleepy, my mind feels hazy. Maybe it's cause I drank Dad's adult drink. In the end, even though I'd chosen the first piece, I decided to check last. After I've seen that everyone else had lost, my chances of winning will be 100%. I tried to find a contradiction in my thinking, but I didn't really get it, so I stopped. It's much better to have 100% than a 1 to 15, so I decided to bet on that. I couldn't wait to open this precious treasure chest, but I waited for everyone else to choose their pieces and check them. How is it going? Has anyone found a winner? Oh, mine didn't have one. I lost too. I wanted to be the princess. Even if you lose, this sucker torta really is beautiful and delicious. It's such a good decoration. It's almost... It's such a good decoration. It's almost a shame to eat it. Fai venire fame, George. Catroia. How about you? Find any almond? No, not me either. What about you, Hideyoshi-nisan? No, mine's a loser too. Looks like I used up all my luck with my company and my wife. What exactly do you mean by that? What about you, Dr. Nanjo? I'm checking it now. Games like this can truly be fun, even now and then. Yes, sometimes a simple test of luck, without any strategy or tactics, can be quite entertaining. What about you, Beato? Where's the liar who said leftovers would be lucky? Garrrr. What about you, Enge? Was there an almond in yours? I'm checking now. You still hadn't touched yours. I was following my own personal probability theory, but I didn't think I could explain it well to Onichan, so I didn't mention it to him. I wonder if there's an almond in there. If I win, I'll be tonight's princess. I'll be happy if I win, but even if I don't, it will still be a really fun night, so that's okay. It stopped when the cake game started, but before then everyone was having a lot of fun trading tricks, puzzles and quizzes and riddles. This game is fun too, but I want to play like that again. This game is fun too, but I want to play like that again soon. Huh? What's up, Enge? Oh! I stared at the tiny thing on my fork, then showed it to my brother. This is an almond, right? Enge got it! Oh, that's awesome! At the same time, a stir rose up in the other corner of the room. I've got one! I won! Oh, so Eva won! My! Congratulations, Eva-sama! That's wrong! I won! Mine has the almond! I held the almond high and shouted across the room. The crowd around Eva split and everyone stared at me, surprised. I was surprised too. The thing in my hand was without a doubt an almond. What the heck? What's going on here? Goda. There seems to be two almonds. So they are both winners? But that shouldn't have. Does that mean that one of the two made a mistake? Ange-sama's is clearly an almond. How about your end, Kanon-kun? Eva-sama is clearly an almond. Then it seems that they both win. My lord. What an odd occurrence. What's all this, Goda? Well, it seems we had a little mistake. Perhaps they should do rock, paper. Come now, don't be stingy. It just means that the two almonds had appeared to signify the queen and the princess. Precisely. Let's have them both as winners. Oh, well, but Goda was hesitant. Actually, he had prepared a single special dessert for the king. It had been decorated in a way that made it hard to split for two people, so it wasn't convenient for there to be two kings. When Eva heard Goda mumbling something to this effect, she shrugged and laughed. In that case, let's have Ange-chan be the princess. The princess? I'm the princess? I'll be your attendant. That works, right? Of course it worked. Ange had been worried that Eva would be declared the winner since she had spoken up first. So she hadn't even dreamed that Eva would give it up to her. But are you sure? You won too. It's okay, I get to be your attendant. Come, princess. What wish do you want to be granted? Let's hear it. I've already chosen my wish. Oh. Oh, and what is it? Won't you tell your auntie? I want this fun time to keep on going. Forever. The young me spoke for the desire in my heart. I want all of the fun stuff from before to keep going. I get the feeling that the nuance has changed. Still, this was unmistakably my wish. From before? Oh, you mean those tricks and quizzes? Yeah. Then this is what we'll do. Listen up, everyone. This is an order from your princess. Remember how much fun we were having before this? Let's all entertain Ange-chan with tricks and quizzes. Oh, hold up there. I've already used all of my material for tricks. Then let's do quizzes and riddles. So, we all just have to entertain Ange-chan with quizzes? We can all present quizzes to our princess to entertain her. Oh, I see. Understood. Yes! How intriguing! Then, Ange, let us do it this way. Everyone will give you a quiz or a riddle, and you can try to solve them. Each time you succeed, I will give you a medal. A medal? It probably means commemorative medals. If you get a lot of puzzles right, you will get a lot of medals. Just gathering medals is a tad boring, don't you think? Depending on the number of medals you collect, I shall give you a fantastic present. Well, do you suddenly feel fired up? It sounds amazing. So, there's even a prize. Isn't that great, Ange? Yeah. Everyone gathered around me, smiling as they thought about what sort of puzzles they'd give. They're all thinking about me, so they can play with me. Just the feel of having that all to myself almost made me explode with joy at becoming the princess. Allora, vi dico adesso. A seconda di quante medaglie prendiamo dei premi differenti. Tutti quanti sono... Allora, tanto faccio già un salvataggio qui. A seconda di quanti quiz prendiamo corretti, abbiamo premi differenti. Sono tutti quanti presenti nei file di gioco. Alla fine, indipendentemente da quello che prendiamo, li guardiamo tutti. Apro i file di gioco e guardiamo le immagini, perché sono tutti molto o divertenti o carini. E dobbiamo farlo flawless, cazzo. Siamo mente collettiva, dobbiamo farlo tutti giusti assieme, I became the Halloween party princess, and the tournament of quizzes and riddles just for me began. It looks like I get a medal for each puzzle I get right. If I get a lot, I'm supposed to get a wonderful prize from grandfather. Okay, here I go. Who should I start with? I don't think it matters. Start with whomever you like. I better think up of a killer puzzle while I have the chance. Maria, didn't you have a quiz book in your bag? Yeah, I do. I'm gonna bully Ange with a mean one. Marione-chan laughed with an evil smile. Looks like everyone is going to try and bully me. I'm sure they'll think up some really hard questions. Don't worry, I'll lend a hand. Really? Of course. After all, I'm the princess attendant. So, let's give it our all together and get a huge pile of medals. Okay. Come now, Ange-sama. Start whenever you like, whenever you want. I, Goda, am ready to challenge you whenever you please. Wow, not so fast. The honor of the first audience with the princess belongs to me. Ange, begin with my challenge. Okay. I suddenly got tense and my stomach began to feel tight. Then Auntie Eva gently held my hand. You'll be alright. Let's do this together. Okay. Then let us begin, Ange. This is a story about December 25th, Christmas Day. Christmas? Even though it was October, he suddenly started talking about Christmas. Is he going to ask what day Christmas is? I know that, it's December 25th. On Christmas Day, a woman looked up at the night sky and said, eventually, the night will end and morning will come. Wouldn't it be wonderful if, after the sun sinks and it becomes night once more, it could be Christmas again? Then the man beside her said, okay, I'll make your dream come true for you. Is such a thing possible? The day after Christmas is the 26th, a normal day. That's impossible. Still, Christmas Eve after the sun rises. Oh, I've got it. Oh, how? How can the day after Christmas be Christmas again? Think about it for yourself, Ange. Ok, allora. While gazing at the night sky on Christmas Day, a woman said, eventually the night will end and morning will come. Wouldn't it be wonderful if, after the sun sinks and it becomes night once more, it could be Christmas Day again? Then the man beside her said, okay, I'll make your dream come true. Is such a thing possible? Allora, io direi ah sì. Vabbè, Andiamo con A, ok? Andiamo con A, vai. It is possible. Oh, I see. It is possible. Yeah, that's right. After all, there are 2 nights in every day. Sì, alla mattina e alla sera, certo. Right. December 25th starts at vabbè, 0, a mezzanotte. Midnight. Midnight is during the night, so that's the first night. Then the morning comes, and when night falls again, it's still the same day until midnight. Ah, ok. Si poteva vedere in quella maniera, è vero. Senza pensare a come e altre cose. Se la notte di Natale è la prima notte di Natale a mezzanotte del 25, la seconda notte di Natale è quando scende di nuovo. Ok. Exactly. And both of those nights are nights on Christmas Day. Am I awesome? Am I awesome? With a delighted smile, Auntie Eva patted my head vigorously. Well done, Enge. I tried to make it a hard question, but you solved it like it was nothing. Congratulations, Enge-sama. Here is a medal for getting the first question right. Genji-san held out a gold-colored medal. Grandfather smiled at me, urging me to take it. Thank you. Keep up the pace. Well, now that is all for my puzzle. Head over there and ask whoever you choose for a quiz. It was a heavy gold-colored medal. If I get a lot of these, my pocket might burst. I'm gonna get so many that I can brag about it to everyone. After bowing to Grandfather, I hurried off with Auntie Eva to where everyone else was gathered. Chi-ching. As Enge ran off, Kinzo watched her go with a warm gaze. They make it a bit too easy. No, I think it was just right. Genji, have I managed to act the part of a good grandpa? Of course. Enge is young, and she frequently grows sick and is unable to come to Rokkenjima. She probably won't remember me well. Young children have their own kind of cruelty. They think of kindness as something they will naturally receive. And because they think of kindness as only natural, they forget about it quickly. It is no different from gratitude to one's parents. It will probably take Enge-sama many years before she understands. Do you think that she will eventually remember that I was a fun grandpa? Yes, I am certain of it. Kin's expression grew slightly darker. Eventually, even Enge will get older, and she will probably hear how the public at large regards Ushiromiya Kinzo. The Ushiromiya Kinzo known by the public is completely different from the Kinzo who plays with his grandchildren. When she learns, will Enge remember the face of Kinzo, the tyrant, known of by the world, or that gently smiling face? If possible, I would hope for her to remember my smile, but such a thing is probably too much to ask for. There's no way around it. That's what children are. Oh, it's you. Children just eat up kindness, and it never remains in their memories. By the time 12 years have passed, she will surely learn what a bizarre, eccentric Ushiromiya Kinzo was. Your smile is fated, not faded. Your smile's fated to be painted over by that and forgotten. Most probably. No matter how much I spoil her, my love will not be rewarded.
だが
However,
親の恩を思い出
just
す
as it takes a long time to remember what you owe your
エンジェ
parents,
もやがて
Angie will surely remember
きっと思い
someday.
出すだろうそなたが孫
She will remember the
どのような笑
smiles
顔
you
を
showed
接し
her.
ていたのか
Let her forget. One smile from her is the greatest parting gift I could ever take with me when my time comes. This is the essence of unrewarded love.
祖父とは
I guess grandfathers are always unrewarded. Oh, but I have been rewarded with Angel's smile just now to look back upon. I could happily pass it on in my sleep tonight. With a lonely laugh, Kinzo spun around, setting his cloak fluttering. This was all the love he could offer Ange as a grandfather. Part of him wanted to be remembered, but he knew he mustn't wish for that. That was how unrewarded love worked. After looking at Kinzo's back, Beato stared at Ange's back again.
エンジェそれでもいつ
Ange,
か
even so, please
思い出して
remember it someday.
金蔵がそなた
Remember the smile that Kinzo
どん
once
な
showed
笑顔
you.
を見せていたのかを
Okay, whose quiz should I take next? I'm gonna challenge more and more people, get more and more medals for getting them right, and get a wonderful present to show everyone. Uncle Kraus and Auntie Natsui are over there. They're looking this way and smiling. I'm sure they've thought up some interesting puzzles. There's Uncle Hideyoshi beckoning for me to come over. He's a fun uncle, so I'm sure he thought up a fun question. Behind him are Mom and Dad. They're waving at me, telling me to have lots of fun. Dad probably knows a lot of hard questions. It might be tough. Over there is Auntie Rosa and Maria Nechan. It looks they are reading a quiz book together, searching for a problem. And now, every now and then, Maria Nechan glances at me, saying, She can be mean sometimes. I'm sure her puzzle won't be a nice one. Beyond them are Butler Nechan, George Nechan, Jessica Nechan. Butler Nechan is usually nice, but he sometimes says really mean things. I think he likes seeing me getting confused. I get the feeling that he'll give me a really tough problem. Is there anyone who looks like they won't be mean? If I can, I like to start with some easy puzzles to warm me up. All the way over there are Genji-san and Dr. Nanjo. I don't think those will be mean to me. And then there's Shannon and Canon. Shannon knows a lot of quizzes and fairy tales. I'm sure she'll give me something unique. And then we have Goda-san and Kumasawa-san who are serving tea. Kumasawa-san might be tough. I kinda think she'll give me a really confusing problem. It looks like everyone might be pretty tough. Ange-chan, I've got a good one for ya. Over here. Uncle Hideyoshi is calling for me. What should I do? Should I go? Do you want to try Uncle Hideyoshi? Yeah.
順番なんて関係
The order doesn't matter.
だって私は
After all, I'm going to challenge everyone. I rolled up my sleeve and headed towards Uncle Hideyoshi. That's the way. Mine's a tricky one, okay?
あなたが出す問題
I wonder what sort of question you will give
あ
her.
まり難しすぎるの
Don't
を
make
出
it
しちゃ
too
ダメ
hard,
よ
okay?
難しくてもいい
It's okay if it's hard. I'll solve it. Oh, looking pretty confident there. Okay, here it comes. After clearing his throat, Uncle Hideyoshi started telling his question. Mine is a riddle. Listen closely now. You know the story of Momotaro, right?
川から桃がどう
The
から
boy who floated down a river in a peach. That's right. But you know, one day, an apple floated down the river. An apple?
そうや
Yep.
そしたら次
And
の
the
日に
next
はな
day, a butternut squash floated down it.
いよかん酸っぱいから
Oh, I hate butternut squash. Squash.
その次の日には
And
な
then the next day,
今
a
度は
cabbage
ブ
floated
リ
down
が
it.
流れてきたんやその次の
And
日
the
には
next day,
枝
a
豆が
dill pickle did.
その次の日
And the
には
next day,
オク
an
ラが
eggplant floated by.
その次の
And
日
the
に
day
は
after that,
柿
a
が
fig
流れて
did.
きたんや
変な話よね
What a strange
女
tale.
優に八百屋
Did
さんでもあ
the,
る
did
の
the
かしら
greengrocer live upstream or something?
さて
Okay.
問題や
Here's the question.
その次の日
What
に
floated
は
down the river the next
何
day?
が流れてきたと思う
Huh?
おばさん
Hmm?
わーか
Got it.
エンジちゃんはわか
Do
る
you get it, Enja-chan?
わかんない
I don't get
じゃ
it.
あヒント
Then
をあ
I
げ
give
る
you
わ
a
ね
hint.
流れてきたものには
There's an order to the
Chanto
things that
junban
float
なんだよ。
down the river.
何の順番か
Can you
わかる
guess
か
what
しら
order they're in?
そら大ヒントや
What
な
a huge hint! Ok, allora. Eccolo qua. One day an apple floated down the river. The next day a butternut squash did. The next day a cabbage did. The next day a dill pickle did. The next day an eggplant did. The next day a fig did. What floated down the river the day after that? Io ce l'ho. Andiamo. A. I know. It's a grapefruit.
そう正解よ
That's right.
選択肢にはなかったけ
It
ど
wasn't one of the choices, but green beans would have worked too. The name all follow the alphabet. Apple was A, butternut squash was B, cabbage was C. It kept going with D, E, and F. And after F comes G. That's why the answer had to be something that started with G.
ありがとう
Thanks, Auntie Eva. I got it right. Thanks to your hint.
エンジェちゃんが自分
You
で
solved
解い
it
た
by
のよ
yourself, Enja-chan.
すごいわ
Incredible.
いやいや
Yeah, nice
ほ
work.
な正解のメダ
Now,
ル
here's your medal for getting it right. Hideyoshi took out a gold-colored medal and placed it in my palm. It felt heavy in my hand. Yeah, this is what victory feels like. I better keep it up. I've actually got one more medal here. I guess for me to give it in place of Eva. But I can't think of any more problems.
じゃあ
Then maybe
私が
I
エンジ
should
ちゃん
give
に出題し
Enja-chan
ちゃ
a
おうか
puzzle.
な
Huh?
エヴァおばさんが
You will?
そうよ
Sure.
お姫様への
A quiz for the princess from her attendant.
ちょっと面白いクイズが
I
思い
thought of a
ついた
fun
から
one, so
ぜひ
please
挑戦
have
し
a
て
go
ほ
at
しいの
it.
よ
Auntie Eva smiled brightly. I want to get as many medals as possible, so of course I want as many chances as I can get.
挑戦する
Okay, I'll have a go at it.
その息よ
That's the spirit.
じゃあ出題するわ
Okay,
ね
here it comes.
おばさんは旅
We
行が
talked
大好きだ
about
って
how
話
how
は
I
したこ
love
と
to
があったかし
travel,
ら
haven't we? Yeah, you said you like traveling overseas a lot.
そうよ
That's
だ
right.
から旅行の
So
問題
this will be a
出すね
puzzle about
あ
traveling.
るところに
There was a
旅人がいたの。
traveler in a certain place.
旅人
A
その
traveler?
旅人は
First, the traveler walked 5 kilometers north.
その問題
Should I write this down on a piece of paper?
大丈夫よ
Don't worry, the puzzle isn't that hard, so listening to it will be enough.
旅人は
The traveler first walked 5 kilometers
そ
north.
して次に
Then he walked 5
東へ
kilometers to
5
the
キロ歩いた
east.
そして次
Then
に
he
は
walked 5 kilometers to the
南へ
south.
5キロ歩いたの北へ5キロ
5 kilometers north, 5 kilometers east,
南
and then 5 kilometers south.
この字みたいに歩いたの
You mean like a blocky N?
そういうこと
That's right. You work it out, and you work it out, and he's in a spot 5 kilometers to the east of where he started.
そのはずでしょう。
That should be the case, right?
ところが
But
なんと
incredibly, this traveler ended up in the same exact spot he started.
こんなおかしなことって
Is
あり
something
えると
so
思う？
mysterious possible?
そんな
Ah,
こと
there's
は
no
ない
way.
で。こういう磁石が
His compass must have gone crazy.
そんなのじゃないわよ。
Of course it didn't.
エンジェちゃん、わか
Do
る？
you know, Ange-chan?
方位磁石のせいじゃ
It
ない。
wasn't because of his
こ
compass.
れは謎々。
Is this a play on words?
いいえ。
No,
ちゃん
it's a
とし
real
たクイズ
quiz.
よ。ヒントはね。
For a hint, why don't try thinking about the globe? Ho già pensato una cosa. Allora, the place is real. What sort of place is this? Okay, a very cold place. B.
わかった。
I got
と
it!
ても寒い場所。
It's a really cold place. Yeah, it must be super cold there.
大正解。
Perfect!
すごいわ。
Ange-chan, you
エンジェちゃんの
must,
年で
must
わかる
really
なん
be
て
a genius
本当
to
に
get
天才
something like that at
よ。
your age.
南極点がスター
If you
ト地点
start at
だ
the
った
South
な
Pole
ら
and you go north, and going east draws a circle around the South Pole. Vabbè, anche sotto funziona nella stessa maniera.
描いて回ってるのと同じや。
Io semplicemente avevo pensato che sei già al polo nord, se vai in direzione nord per 5 km, anche se superi il polo non cambia niente. Dopo fai... da sotto funziona meglio effettivamente. Vai nord, east e sud e ritorni di nuovo allo stesso punto. In ogni caso il ragionamento era giusto. So anytime you go south again, it just takes you back to it just takes you right back to the South Pole.
とっておきの難しい
I
問題
tried
の
to
つも
make
り
it
だ
an
った
extra
んだ
hard
けど
puzzle,
エンジェちゃ
but
んは
Ange-chan
本当に
just
すごい
was
わ。
too good.
おめでとさんや。
Congrats.
これが
Here's another
もう一枚の
medal for
メ
ya.
ダルや。
I got a heavy gold-colored medal. Alright, I did it. Auntie Eva and I held up our fists in celebration.
これでわしら
Okay,
の問題は
that's all for our puzzles.
他の人に
Go
問題
ask
を出して
one
も
of
ら
the
うといい
others to
で
give you one.
ありがとう、秀吉おじさん。
Okay, thank you, Uncle Hideyoshi.
エヴァおばさんは
Your aunt is really clever.
二人一緒なら
With the two of you together, you'll be getting medals left and right.
そうよ。
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
一緒に頑張ろう。
let's do our best together, Auntie Eva. I dashed away. Who will I ask next? Uncle Hideyoshi waved goodbye, smiling. Oh, apathy, mamma mia, okay. Hideyoshi never watched as Ange ran off happily, looking for the next quiz.
あんなにも可愛らしい
That
笑
kid
顔を
can
浮かべら
wear
れる
such
子
a
なの
cute smile.
私が
And I will be the one who take it away from her.
エヴァ
Eva hung her head. A single tear sparkled in her eye.
彼女の気持ちを考えればそれ
Her
は当
reaction
然
was
のこ
only
となの。
natural, considering how she felt.
でも私はそれを受け止めきれなかった。
But I wasn't able to see past it and accept her feelings.
しゃあない。
It can't be helped.
お前かて
You're as human as everyone else.
そうそう人
It's
間
not easy
割
to
り切れ
put
る
your
もんと
emotions
ちゃう
aside. Ma porca troia, ma... Così? Così subito? Attacco alle spalle?
それでも私が悪いのよ。
Even so, it was my fault.
仮にも一児を育てた母だったのよ。
After all, I already had the experience of bringing up a child, right?
あの子の母親に
I should have
私
become
は
her
なるべ
mother.
きだった。なのに
And yet,
私は悲し
I
みを
let
覚え
sadness
それをし
overwhelm
な
me.
かった。
And I didn't do it at all.
しゃあないしゃあない。
It can't be helped, I tell you.
お前だけが悪いわけ
Don't
とちゃう
think
で
you were the only one at fault.
そんなに自分を責
You
めた
shouldn't
か
blame yourself so much. By now, Eva was unable to hold back her sobs. Large tears dripped down her cheeks as she stared at the ground and shook.
私は なんて罪を。
What a sin I've committed.
悲しいのは私もあの子も
My
全く同じ
sadness
だ
was
った。
no greater than
な
hers.
のに私は
And yet I decided that I was
自
suffering
分
the
の方
most,
が悲しいと
and I
決めつ
didn't
けて
accept her feelings.
あの子の気持ちを全く受け止めなくて、私は母失格なん
I
だ。
am a failure of a mother.
あの子の母になって
I wasn't able
あげられ
to
なかった。
become a mother for her.
いいえ、
That's wrong.
あなたは頑張ってくれたわ。
You did your best for her, Evanesan.
キリエさん、
Kiri and Rudolph were standing behind Eva now.
あなたがエンジェと打ち解けようと
I know how hard you
いろいろ
tried
な
to
努
get
力を
along
してく
with
れたことを
Ange.
知っているわ。
姉貴はよく耐えてくれた
You
ぜ。
held out well, Aniki.
そんな姉貴の苦労も
Yes,
知ら
that
ず
daughter of ours really has been a pain, clueless about how much you suffered. After the accident on Rokkenjima, Eva, the only person to leave Rokkenjima alive, adopted Ange, the girl who had survived the day through her absence. While they would eventually develop a sad and mutually painful relationship, it wasn't like that at first. As Ange's new mother and last remaining blood relative, Eva tried to shower her with love and affection, even as she fought back the sadness she herself felt. However, Ange wasn't able to accept that kindness. She lashed out at Eva, the only one who had returned alive, and accused her of stealing her parents away from her. Eva, understanding the wounds that this little 6-year-old girl bore, withstood these attacks. She grit her teeth and gave Ange her unconditional love. However, the wounds that Eva herself bore were also extremely deep. She was never rewarded for her sad efforts, and the future that followed was a sorrowful one.
あなたはエンジェにジョージ君に注
You
いだのと
tried
同
to
じ愛
show
情を
Ange
与
the
え
same
ようと
affection you once showed George-kun.
でもそれは私だけの独りよ
In
が
the
り
end,
で
that was just for my
エンジ
own
ェちゃんには全く
satisfaction.
届かなかった。
Ange-chan never felt any of it.
それを受け止めなかったのはエンジェだ。
Ange was the one who couldn't accept it.
姉貴のせいじゃない。
It isn't your fault.
6歳のエンジェちゃんにそれを求めるなんて酷よ。
But who could possibly ask that of Ange-chan when she was just 6 years old?
それでも私が
I should have held out much longer until she could understand my
耐えなけれ
feelings.
ばならなかったのに。エヴァ姉さん、これだけは信じて。
Evanesan, if nothing else, trust me when I say this.
私たちはあなたを
We don't blame you in the
責めて
slightest.
なんかいないのよ。キリエさん、エンジェのために
Thank you so much for suffering so long for Ange's sake.
あの子に人の心がある
If
のは
that kid has a human heart, then I'm sure she'll recognize that
あな
affection
た
you
が注い
showed
でく
her
れた愛情
someday.
に気がついてくれるはず。
ありがとう。
Thank you, Aniki.
俺たちは
We'll
いつまでも
always
感
be
謝してるんだ
grateful.
ぜ。
よかったなエヴァ
Isn't that wonderful,
お
Eva?
前の頑張りは
All
な
of your efforts have been witnessed. Sì, ma che cazzo di emotional roller coaster? Scusami un attimo, Goda. How are you doing, Ange-sama? If you wish, I, Goda, will be pleased to challenge you. And I, Kumasawa, have a very tricky puzzle for you.
難しい問題でもへっちゃら
It doesn't matter how hard it is. I'm not alone.
エヴァおばさんと
I'll
一緒に
solve it with Auntie Eva. Goda and Kumasawa offered to challenge me. I'll have to go up against everyone in the end, so it doesn't matter who comes next. I waved at Auntie Eva to hurry up, and she ran towards me. So, we are challenging this pair next. Who we will start with?
じゃあゴーダさん
Okay, Goda-san.
はいはい
Very well, as you wish.
それでは問題を
Here's my
させていただきます
I'll warn you, it's a toughie.
それでも解く
I'll still solve it.
コツはもう分かった
I've gotten the knack of it.
エンジェちゃんを甘く
You
見ちゃ
better
ダメ
not
よ
underestimate Ange-chan. Right?
それは
My. Well then, being the humble chef that I am, here is a puzzle about food and the kitchen.
今度は共闘しましょう
We'll fight together this
わから
time.
ないときはおば
If
さん
you
を頼
don't
って
get
ね
it, just ask me to lend a
何
hand.
かヒントを
I'll
出せ
give
る
you
よ
a
うにする
hint.
ヒ
わ
ントもらうと
If I get a hint, does that mean I don't get the medal?
メダルとは関係
It
ない
won't
から
affect your medals at all, so feel free to ask anyway. Away. Okay, allora. A witch had a house with a magic kitchen. The witch would always come home at the same time every day, and when she did, the kitchen would always have a freshly made dinner served for her. One day, the witch had to work very late. When she finally got home, all of the food was there to greet her. Welcome home, great witch. Today we have some vegetable stew for you, said the stew in the pot. Welcome home, great witch. Please, quickly, dip me in the stew and eat me, said the crusty bread. Welcome home, great witch. You must be thirsty. Please, drink me right away, said the white wine. Welcome home, great witch. If you eat me, the heat of the day will be wiped away, said the ice cream dessert. One of them is lying. Who is it? The stew, the bread, the wine, and the ice cream. The ice cream.
アイスクリーム
The ice cream!
魔女は帰りが
The
すごく
witch
遅かったんだ
got
ね
back really late, so the ice cream would have melted.
だから食べら
So
れない
she couldn't eat it.
さすが
Nicely done.
どう
See?
エンジェちゃんは本当に
Ange-chan is a
賢いでしょ
clever girl, isn't she?
おめでとうございます
Congratulations, Ange-sama.
感服いたしました
Very impressive.
このゴーダの
How quickly you saw through the puzzle.
こうもあっさりと
How quickly you saw through the puzzle than I, Goda, put all my efforts into.
全然簡単だ
It
けど
was totally
エヴァ
easy.
おばさんの問題の方が
Auntie Eva's
難しかった
puzzle was harder.
ありがとう
Huh? Thank you. Aspetta.
おめでとうございます
Congratulations.
こちらが
This medal is your prize for answering my question correctly.
ありがとう
Alright, that was easy. Now let's take a shot at Kumasawa-san's puzzle. Dimmi che a tema mackerel, ti prego.
次は私でございます。
Looks like I'm up
で
next.
はとっておき
Now,
の
let's test Ange-sama with my special made super hard
様を
puzzle.
試してみましょうね。では参りま
Are
す
you
よ。
ready?
難しいって
It's
ど
hard.
のくらい
How hard?
それ
You'll have to wait and
挑戦してみて
see.
のおたそれでは
And now,
私はサバ
let
の
the-
デザートの問題を出します。
Let the mackerel dessert puzzle begin.
サバのデザート
Mackerel dessert?
熊沢さんの
This
こ
is,
と
this is Kumasawa-san we're talking about. So you'll bet you'll get a strange one.
注意してかかりましょう
Be careful. Okay. Allora. The cook was in trouble. The only part of dinner left to prepare was the dessert. But he had no ingredients except the leftovers of a mackerel dish he called sabara. However, the cook had a flash of inspiration. By adding in just one letter to replace the old one, he could make a great dessert out of the leftovers. What new letter did he use? Ed è C, quindi Sahara, H e C. I've got it!
ス文字
The
は
new letter is H.
サバに「く」を足して
If you change the B in Sabara in H, you get Sahara.
正解でございま
That's
す。
correct.
砂漠はつまり砂
The
漠のこと
Sahara is a desert.
砂漠は英
And the
語で
last line said you could make it into a great desert out of Sabara.
エンジェ英語知ってた
I figured out the trick in Japanese and English.
すごい
Am I awesome? Am I awesome?
さすがエンジ
So
ェちゃん
smart,
賢い
Ange-chan.
頭なでなでしてあ
You
げる
deserve a pat on the head.
おばさんに撫でてもらうの
I like it when you do that.
サバ肉
Just change a single letter and even mackerel can make a fine dessert.
本当にサバは
Are
すごい
you
ですね
starting to see how omnipotent mackerel is?
そんなダジャレで
The day I'm forced to serve a joke like that for dessert, I imagine heads will roll.
エンジもやだ
I wouldn't like it
デ
either.
ザートは
I like ice cream for dessert.
確かに
Of course.
大丈夫よ
By
ね
the way, we shouldn't be worried, should we?
今日のデザート
What about tonight's dessert?
厨房
I
で
can hardly wait to surprise everyone with the mackerel fruit
皆さんを
parfait waiting there in the
驚かそうと
kitchen.
待ち構えておりますよ
そうなのや
Everyone burst out laughing. For some time after that, I was tormented by the terrifying image of a parfait neatly topped with mackerel bits.
これは残念
What a shame. I tried so hard to stop you from getting that prize, but you solved my best riddle like it was nothing.
知恵を絞った問題が
Though she said that, Kumasawa smiled. A gold-colored medal glittered in her wrinkly hand. Angie took it.
さあ
Well then,
これ
that's
で
all
私
for
たち
our
の問題
puzzles.
はおしまいですよ
この調子で
Please keep up the pace, get more and more medals, and win that splendid prize from the master.
ありがとう
Okay, thank
も
you.
っともっと頑張
I'm
って
going to think even harder next time.
ねエヴァ
We did it, Auntie Eva.
この調子でどんどん
Let's
行
keep
きま
it
しょう
up. We rushed away. Okay, who should we take on next?
Kirie 様の影に隠れておどおどしていた
It seems that all of a sudden the tiny girl who used to hide and tremble in Kirie-sama's shadow had grown to be so bright and cheery.
親族会議を重ねるたびに
With each passing family conference, one can feel the growth of those youngsters.
あと数年も経てば
After just a few more years, Ange-sama will surely learn of love, of makeup, and will eventually grow to be a true lady.
されるのでしょうね
そうです
Very true.
普通に年
If
月
she
を
grows
重ねて
normally with the passing time, that is. A cruel fate forces the chick called Enge into a lonely future. If an egg isn't warmed, it won't hatch. If the egg she is now will not be warmed by anyone, and neither will it hatch.
エンジェ様は
Inside that frozen egg,
孤独な
will
未来を
Ange-sama have
迎える
no
ことはない
choice
で
but
しょ
to
うか
face that isolated future?
卵の殻は
An eggshell can always be broken from this. An eggshell can always be broken from the inside. Even if a cold shell is very, very hard, that doesn't mean it cannot be broken.
破れぬものではありません
エンジェ様に
That Ange-sama has the strength to do that.
それを得ること
Is
が
she
できるか
capable of
に
achieving that or not?
それが
I
この
heard
最
that
後の
question
ゲー
is
ムと
what the
聞いています
final game is all about.
私たちはもっとメッセージを
Perhaps
送
we
る
should
べ
have
きではな
sent
いで
her
しょうか
a clearer message.
せめて
If the egg
温
cannot be
められる
warmed,
卵なら
could we not at least strike it from the outside to
少しで
make
も
it
外
easier
から
to
叩
crack?
くとか
自らの殻を
If
割
a
る
chick
力
too
もない
powerless to even break its own shell is forced outside of the shell of the egg,
寒風に耐え
it
るこ
won't
と
be
はで
able
き
to
ない
withstand the cold winds.
エンジェ様は
Ange-sama will have to find that power and
自ら
resilience
得なけれ
herself.
ばならないのです
ですから
I understand that she needs power and resilience,
私たちは
but can we not somehow explain it to her?
言葉とは
Words cannot be given, they can only be accepted.
私たちが
No
何を
matter what we
与え
try
よう
to
と
give Ange-sama, it will be meaningless unless she accepts it.
そうですね
You're right.
私たちが何
No
を伝え
matter
ても
what we try to tell Ange-sama, it won't matter unless she listens. We can do nothing but watch over her. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
エンジェ様が
Ange-sama must choose a better future for
自ら
herself.
選択してくれることを祈るしかあり
We
ませ
can
んな
only pray that she does.
エンジェ様が
If Ange-sama does not abandon herself to anger for the sole purpose of distracting herself from her resignation and sadness, if she can just be honest about that one single wish that she truly desires most than anything else, then you can be certain that she will make her the greatest wish. Then you can be certain that she will make her greatest wish come
皮
true.
肉なものです
It is ironic. Since the very beginning, she had been denying that greatest wish of hers herself.
笑う角に
Laughter brings happiness.
泣き面に
Tears bring misfortune.
信ずる者は
Those who believe will be saved.
人の思い
People have the power to create their own futures by the strength of their emotions.
自ら生み出すの
せめてその
I
言
wish
葉
we
だけ
could
で
just let her
かけ
hear
てあげ
those
たいもの
words.
ですが
バトル様も厳しい
Atlas-sama is very
その
strict.
ような言葉
He's
さえ
hoping
も
that
許さない
Ange-sama will realize it by her own power alone,
エンジェ様が自分の力だけで気づいて
and is
くれる
not
ことを
permitting
願
even words of this nature to be told to her.
私たちには
It seems we can do nothing but watch over her.
だからせ
And
め
so,
て祈りましょう
let us pray at least.
彼女が
Pray that she
最も
grasps
望
the
む未来
world
を
she
その手
desires
に
most
掴める
with
よ
her
うに
own hands.
おや、私どもご指名ですか。
Oh, you have selected me?
どうせ
Yeah,
全員に
I'll
挑
have
む
to face everyone sooner or
も
later.
んさ
Right, Auntie Eva?
ね
Right.
私たち
Come
に
on.
問題を出してちょう
Let's
だ
have
い
a puzzle.
サクサク解いちゃうんだから
We'll solve it in a flash.
そうですか、
I
そうですか。
see, I see.
では、
Then it seems I must make it a good one.
源氏、
Genji,
お前も何か
you
出
should
題
give
して
her
や
one
ろう。
as well.
とっておき
A
の
tough one.
かしこまりました
As you wish.
それでは
In that case, a tough one it shall be. Whoa. I've been thinking that Genji-san would give me a simple puzzle, but now that he's saying it will be tough, scary. But I'll have to beat him at some point. I can't let myself get scared.
では、私から参り
Then
ましょう。
let's start with mine.
私はお医者さん
I
ですか
am
ら。
a doctor.
救急車の
So
問題
how
でも
about
出すと
an
しましょう。
ambulance puzzle? Okay. The word QQ means emergency. In Japan, if you add a number to emergency, you get a vehicle with a red flashlight, an ambulance. If you subtract from 130, you get a different kind of vehicle with a red flashing light. And in the US, if you add to emergency, you get another kind of vehicle, but only if you put it in reverse. What number is Hint: Q is a number in Japanese. Auntie Eva can help you with this part. Ok, allora aspetta, Q. Vabbè, quindi D, 20. 20! 20. 20! QQ sounds like 99, and if you add 20 to 99, you get 119.
救急車を呼ぶ番号
That's the emergency number for ambulances.
130
And
から
if you
20
subtract
を引く
20
と
from 130, you get 110.
こっちは
That's the
パトカーを呼ぶ
emergency
番号ね
number for calling the police. And add 20 to 99 and write it. Ok, questo secondo me è stato aggiunto, il momento italico di Ange. Questo secondo me è stato aggiunto dal team di traduzione per dare un'idea. Perché... cioè, potevamo arrivarci anche solo con questo, col 911, però è giusto sapere, adesso sappiamo anche questi due numeri. Se mai siamo in Giappone e abbiamo bisogno di queste cose.
お見事、正解だ。
Splendid, that is correct.
やはりエン
I
ジェさ
knew
ん
you
は
were a
頭
quick
が柔
thinker,
軟ですな。
Ange-san.
おお、やるではないか、エンジェ。
Yaru de Wonaika! Oh, well done, Ange.
さすが
What a
賢いぞ
clever granddaughter I have.
わがままよ おめでとう。
Congratulations.
これはあんたの
This
メダ
medal
ルだ。
belongs to you. At any rate, the gold medal glittering in Anjo's hand is now mine. Okay, now I'll defeat Genji too and get another one.
そうそう
Yes,
その
that's
意
the
気よ
spirit.
どんどん解い
Let's
ていっ
keep
ちゃい
on
ましょう
solving them. Yay.
では源氏さん。
Your
どう
turn,
ぞ
Genji-san.
我が友は
My friend here doesn't speak much, but his knowledge is quite extensive.
どんな問
Even
題
I
も飛び
cannot
出
wait to
しや
see what sort
が
of
私
puzzle
の
he
興味
whips up.
深いぞ。
それでは演
Now then, Enja-sama,
覚悟を
prepare yourself.
出題させて
The
いただき
puzzle starts now. I never heard anyone say prepare yourself like that when giving a quiz. I started to get so tense that my stomach began to hurt.
大丈夫よ
You'll be okay.
しっか
Hang in there. Auntie Eva gripped my hand firmly, and my stomachache got a little bit better.
演者様は
Enja-sama,
割り算を
have you
できますか
learned division?
うん
Yeah,
塾で習った
I learned it in cram school.
すごいわね
Incredible!
まだ
A
6
6
歳
years
なの
old who
に
knows division.
では問題
Then
な
there
さ
should be no problems.
出題させて
Here
い
it
ただきます
comes. This is bad. I did learn division, but I'm not very good at it. Allora, you have a lit candle 5 centimeters in length. This candle is made so that half of its remaining length burns over the course of each hour. Each hour, the candle is half as long as it was before, and its length is one. And when its length is 1 centimeter or less, the flame goes out. After 3 hours, the flame has disappeared. What was the length of the candle at that time? Quindi 1 centimetro ed è là.
5センチが1時
After
間
1 hour, 5
2.5
centimeters
センチになって
becomes 2.5
ま
centimeters.
た1時間
And
で
in the next hour, that
1.25
becomes
センチになって
1.25 centimeters.
また1時間で
And in the next hour, that becomes
0.6
0.625 centimeters.
エンジェちゃん
Enja-chan,
計算は必
you
要
don't
ない
need to
のよ
use math.
問題を
Make
よく
sure
思い
you
出してみ
remember
て
the problem clearly.
ろうそく
How
は
long is the candle when the
何セ
flame
ンチに
goes
なった
out?
ら消えちゃうんだっけ
Ah,
騙されるところ
that was a close one.
長さが
The candle goes out when it's 1 centimeter long, so the rest doesn't matter. The flame of this candle dies when the candle is 1 centimeter in length. In other words, it can never get shorter than 1 centimeter. So the right answer is the fifth choice, about 10 millimeters.
その通り
That's right.
正解で
You
ご
are
ざいます
correct.
おお素晴らしいぞエンジ。よく惑
How
わされなかった
clever are you not to be misled.
パリ算なんか必要
I
ない
didn't
問題
even
だ
need
った
division.
引っかかるところ
I
だった
almost got tricked.
ゲンジさんも意地が悪い
You
わ
were pretty mean there,
割り
Genji-san.
算はできますか
You even
なんて
asked her
聞い
if
て
she
おい
could do
て
division.
あれが引っ掛けだ
That
った
was
わ
a
けね
trap, right?
はい
Correct.
申し訳ござ
My
いません
humble
でした
apologies.
源氏さんは
After all,
たまに
Genji-san is the
表情
sort who
一つ
can
変えずに
trick you
引っ掛
without
けてきます
changing
から
his
な
expression in the slightest.
おめでとうございます
Congratulations,
こ
Enja-sama.
ちらが
This medal is proof that you have correctly solved my puzzle.
ありがとう
Thanks.
エヴァはさ
Got another medal, Auntie Eva.
いい調子ね
Nice going.
まだまだ集める
I'll get lots more.
いっぱい集めて
I'll get a ton, and then grandfather will give me a great prize.
うん張り切るがよいぞ
Give it all you've got, my granddaughter.
頑張れエンジさん
Good luck, Enja-san.
あんたの分
I'm
を
rooting
祈
for
ってる
you.
よ
他の方もお
There
待ち
must be others waiting for you.
さあ
Perhaps you ought to search for your next challenge.
ありがとう
Okay, thank you.
もっともっと頑張
I'll
る
try even harder now. We dashed away. There are still many people waiting to give me puzzles. I have tons of chances to get medals. Okay, who should I challenge next? E invece cosa hanno da dire loro due? Genji e Nanjo. After Ange and Eva left, Butler, who had been watching their progress, came over.
エンジェの調子はどうかな。
How is Ange doing?
バトラー
Oh,
調
Butler.
子はわからん。
I am not certain of her progress, but she seemed to be enjoying herself.
源氏さんの問題
I heard
聞
your
いてたぜ。
puzzle, Genji-san.
俺もうっかり
Even I
騙され
was
ちまった
almost taken in the back there.
恐縮でございます。
You honor me.
しかし意
Still,
外だぜ。
it's not quite what I have
源氏さんが
expected.
こういうフェイ
Who'd
ク
have
っぽい
thought
問
that
題を
you'd
出す
give
な
a
んて
trick
ね。
question like that?
もっと素
I
直な
figured you'd make
わか
more
り
a
やすい問題を出すとば
straightforward,
っかり
simple
思って
puzzle.
たぜ。
You might expect such a thing from him, silent as he is. But he's much more of a schemer than he appears.
ですな。
Very
源
true.
氏さんとチェ
If
ス
you
を
play a
戦えば
chess match
それが
against
よく
him,
わか
you'll
ります
see way.
私と手と
He even fools me from time to time.
この真
He'll
面目
trick me right to my face with that stern, serious expression of his.
昔から
He has
そうだよ
always been like that.
なのに
And
な
yet,
んと
despite the
騙されても
numerous
私は
occasions on which he had fooled me in the past, I kept on getting tricked. I keep on getting tricked.
うんそういえばさ
Come to think of
源
it,
氏さんとじいさん
what sort of relationship do you and Genji-san have? Oh, finalmente questo momento. For just an instant, Kinzo glanced at Genji's face. Apparently, he didn't plan on touching on this subject if Genji had any Apparently, he didn't plan on touching on this subject if Genji had any objections. However, Genji began to answer the question himself, as though the matter was no longer deserving of secrecy.
私と親方様は
I knew the master
か
once
つて台湾
in
にご縁が
Taiwan.
ありました
Knew me, he says.
悪友
We
で
were
ある
partners in crime, you must say.
こやつも
The two of
私
us
も
were both
金持ちの
prodigal
子
sons of rich families.
親に迷
A
惑
pair
を
of
かけてば
ruffians
か
who
りの
caused their
ろくで
parent
なし
nothing
であ
but
った
trouble.
源氏さんが
Kenji-san, a
弟息子
prodigal son?
そりゃびっく
That's
り
a
だぜ
surprise.
じゃあ
So, Genji-san, you also moved to Taiwan and met grandfather there.
いえ
No,
私は
I am a native of
台湾
Taiwan.
の人間でした
Genji-san was born in Taiwan.
いえ戦前
Well,
は日本領
since
で
Taiwan
した
was under Japanese
源氏さん
rule
もも
before
ち
the
ろん
war,
日本人
he
でし
is
た
still Japanese, of course.
負けん気
He
の
was a
強い
man
男
who
だ
hated losing.
出会ったばか
When
り
we
の
first
頃
met,
は
we fought all the time.
意気投合
Once we
して
hit
か
it
ら
off, we became the best of
筑波の友と呼ぶに
friends.
ふさわしい最高の友人であった。
戦後にいろい
There
ろ
was
と
a
混
lot
乱
of
がありました
disorder and conflict after the war.
その混
The
乱の
master is the one who saved me during that
私を
chaotic
助けてく
period.
ださったのがその時のご
If I
恩
spend the rest of my life trying to repay that debt, it would not be enough to pay it back in full.
それを言う
Don't say that, my friend.
私がもう
If only I had
少し
been a
上手
little
に
more
説得できていれば
persuasive,
お前の家族たちも
I
連れ
might
て
have
くる
saved
こと
your
が
family as well.
私が
I
不甲斐
was
ない
too
ばかり
feckless to save
お
anyone
前
but you.
しか救えなかった
I don't know much about the details of Taiwan's history, but apparently there was still a lot of chaos there even after the war ended and Japan pulled out. Kinzo, predicting this chaos before it happened, worked out a way for Genji and his family to escape. However, Genji's family possessed great wealth in Taiwan. They were unable to abandon it and they decided to remain there. This wealth had been built up thanks to their close relationship with the Japanese-run government of Taiwan. The new regime after the war wasn't likely to welcome them with open arms. Much mayhem and confusion followed, and Genji was the only one who escaped harm. I don't know what happened to make this man, referred to by Kinzo as a troublesome prodigal son, change so drastically to become the person he is today. This is a story of friendship between the two of them, and there could be hardly any point in an unrelated person sifting through history books to argue for their personal interpretation. They had been good friends since long ago, and they owed each other their lives. Though the troubled times had tossed them about, their friendship held firm for decades. Genji's role was now that of the butler, But when the two of them were alone in the study, they sometimes shared a drink and reminisced about the days of their youth. Okay. And they're still that way today. Leaving Kinzo and Genji to reminisce, Butler walked off on his own. It would be rude to ask for any more detail, and there was no need to know. Kinzo and Genji had been friends since long, long ago. That information was nothing new. E in questo momento io vi dico che nel manga si vede Genji giovane ed è giovane tipo ventenne, ok? È con Kinzo giovane ed è Ero 9, cioè è proprio Ero 9, ok? Senza il monocolo, ma è Ero 9. Which I mean, lo sapevamo già, però è molto carino che abbiano fatto questa cosa. What do you think? Do you want to challenge Auntie Natsui and Uncle Kraus next? Yeah, let's beat them. Very well, we'll play along. The two of us have prepared some formidable puzzles for you. Should I go first? Perché non c'è la voce di Kraus? Or you? I will start. Very well. Listen closely to what I'm about to say. Shiro, kuro, shiro, kuro, shiro. Kuro, shiro, kuro, shiro, kuro, shiro. Shiro, kuro, shiro, kuro, shiro. Kuro, shiro, kuro, shiro, kuro, shiro. Ah?
Shiro, kuro, shiro, kuro.
I'll say it once more.
Shiro, kuro, shiro, kuro, shiro. Hatena. Kuro, shiro, kuro, shiro, kuro, shiro. Kono hatena ni wa nani ga hairu deshou?
What does the question mark stand for? Ah, ok. Che è bianco, nero. Bianco, nero. Bianco, nero. Bianco, nero, bianco, nero. Bianco, punto di domanda. Nero, bianco, nero, bianco, nero, bianco. This is a really hard one. White, black, white, black, white. Question mark, black, white, black, white, black, white. It looks like the white and black are alternating, but the question mark is between a white and a black. Is it gray? Is it that easy? Oh, this is a surprisingly hard one coming from you, Natsui-san. Auntie Eva was groaning. Apparently this one's really hard. Is it really so hard? There's a chance that some people won't understand if they haven't had the right experiences. Eva-san aside, I think Ange-chan would have seen it a lot at school and kindergarten. Huh? Are you saying I'll never get this one? Is it a problem that I could get easier than Auntie Eva? It's hard. Quindi white è A. That black and white thing, it's a keyboard. Like a piano. Huh? Is that it? It's a keyboard? Something that can be found in a kindergarten schools, which is covered with a line of white and black things. It's an instrument, like a keyboard on a piano or a melodica. The first two black keys, the first two black keys are between do, re, and mi. The set of three black keys are between fa, sol, la, and ti. Non sapevo che... perché allora io so che in luoghi in America, penso, in generale dove si parla inglese, di solito fanno con i tasti G, F, H, e non sapevo che in Giappone facessero do, re, mi. Vabbè. It started white, black, black. So the three whites are do, re, and mi. There is no black key between mi and fa. So fa comes right after me.
つまりみの次が
And since the question mark comes after me, the right answer is fa. Okay, cute.
つまり
In other words,
正解は白。
sekai wa, the right answer is white.
正解です。
Correct.
ちょっと難しす
I
ぎた
thought
かと
it
思
might
いま
have
し
been
た
a
が
bit too hard, but you
さすが
did
ですね
well. Splendidly done, you two. Go ahead, Natsu.
おめでとうエンジェちゃん。
Congratulations,
これ
Angel-chan.
が私
It's
から
my
の
medal
願い
for
です
you. Ma ha perso la voce, Kraus, che è successo? Oh, right. Auntie Eva, I got another one.
順調ね。
Things are moving along nicely.
次は
Next
兄さ
up
んが出
is
すわよ。
Nissan's puzzle.
あっさりと。
Let's solve it in a flash and teach him a lesson, okay? Ran, tan, tan, ta, tan, taran, tan, 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 ran, tan, 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 taran, 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 ta, 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 tan, ta, ta, tan, tara, tara, ta, ta. Oh, suonerò io, Kraus. Oh, interesting. Looks like it's time for you. It looks like it's time you were taught a lesson.
やめてエバおばさん
Stop it, Auntie Eva. Don't provoke him.
問題が難しく
You'll
ない
make the
ぞ
puzzle harder. If there's anyone you have to blame, it's Eva. Now take this, brain twister. Here's a puzzles about tenants of a skyscraper I've invested in. There is a 14-story skyscraper with one company on each floor. The following companies have the following floors: Okumura Societies Co. Okumura Securities Co. Limited is on the first floor. Iwamura Realty Co. Limited is on the second floor. Tamura Transport Co. Limited is on the 14th floor. I know the Murakoshi Publishing Co. Limited is also a tenant of the skyscraper, so that company must also be on the something floor. However, the company president insists to me that it isn't. On which floor is Murakoshi Publishing Co. Limited located? Va bene. B.
3階
The third floor.
お見事。正解。
Well done. You got
1
it.
階から11階
Ignoring the first two floors, the only floor that doesn't end in TH is the third. Yeah,
3階だけは
third floor fits.
3階
All of the others all of the other ones after that are the something floor. Nicely done. And even I didn't figure it out until I had the answer given to me. Apparently, Uncle Kraus once had this puzzle shown to him and he wasn't able to answer it right. He looks a bit bitter that a little kid like me was able to solve it. I think what's really frustrating him is Auntie Eva solving it, not me. Weird.
ほら。
Come on
さ
now.
っさとメダルをよ
Let's
こしなさい
see
よ。
that medal. This medal is a mark of Enja-chan's intelligence. It's not for you, Eva.
負け惜しい。
Sore loser.
ありがとうクラウド
Thank you, Uncle
エンジ
Kraus.
すごいエンジすごい
Am I awesome? Am I awesome? Very much so. You are a more flexible thinker than your uncle. I'm proud to have you as my niece. That's all for our puzzles. I do hope you enjoyed them. I did. Thank you, Auntie Natsu and Uncle Kraus. I hope you can enjoy all the tricky and interesting questions without worrying about your medal count too much. We all hope that this becomes a wonderful night just for you.
楽しんでるわよね。
We really are enjoying ourselves. Yeah,
私たち
you're having a lot of fun. Kraus and Natsu smiled at them and as they dashed away. Adesso è tornata la connessione. Jover, dov'è? Quando è che è saltata? Torno un po' indietro. Quando è che è saltata la connessione? Qual è stata l'ultima cosa che avete visto? Questa, ok. Kraus and Natsu smiled at them as they dashed away. Oh, it's you, Natsu. How did your puzzles go? We selected our questions as carefully as we could, but I'm not sure how much they enjoyed them. On the other side of the room, Ange and Eva were counting their medals they had gathered so far. Ange and Eva, such an unexpected pairing, but they looked like they were having a great time. A future parent and child, unrelated by blood. Watching them like this, they look just like a normal parent and child. Yes, they do. Bonds between people are nurtured by the heart. Ties of blood do not bond as strongly. After saying this, Natsui bit back her own words and stared at the floor. What's wrong? I was just surprised that I would dare to say such words. You don't need to worry about me. Because I rejected you, you met a painful fate in so many worlds. All of that is my responsibility. I understand how you felt. Unable to become pregnant, you were forced to feel shame for many years. In that situation, any woman would be shocked if they were handed a baby whose parentage they didn't even know, and then told to adopt them. There was no reason for me to push you off a cliff. True. You will have to carry that cross for the rest of your life. Yes. I am prepared to do so. In that case, the suffering you must endure will come from the cross you bear, not from me. You don't despise me? Look, don't make that dejected face. In fact, no, I think I'll say the opposite. As long as you do continue making that dejected face, I will feel no desire to punish you. As long as you continue to carry that cross, I will feel no desire to hate you. Despite what I did to you, you still don't hate me. Oh, I did hate you. I hated your guts. I hated you so much, I wanted to hang up a pillow with a picture on you and use it as a punching bag. But as I watched you, that feeling faded away. You regretted and lamented. And I'm sure you'll never forget that feeling for as long as you live. How could I forget? After all, I am a murderer. You burdened yourself with one hell of a heavy cross, didn't you? I feel compassion for you now. I'm serious. I mean, all of this is really Kinzo's fault. It's his fault for having an illegitimate child in the first place. And the way he forced that child on you was even worse. Instead of, you can't give birth, so adopt this child, you should have at least been able to avoid hurting you by saying something like, please take care of this poor child. Man, that Kinzo. I no longer hate you. Does the cross you bear not feel any lighter for that? doesn't.
あなたにどうすれ
I
ば
still don't know how I can make up for what I did to
未
you.
だにわからないのですからじゃあこうし
Then
よ
let's do it this way.
う両腕を
Hold
広げ
out your arms. Huh?
Co-
Like
こう
this?
ですか
As Natsui spread her arms uncertainly, Beato leapt forward and hugged her tight.
これは
This is a little...
二度と言わねえから
I'll
一度くらい言
never
わ
say
せ
this
ろよ
again, so let me say it once.
わらわはよ
After all, I never had a
自分の
chance to meet
母
my
親に会
mother.
ったことさえねえんだからよ
Still hugging Natsui, Beato spoke in a whisper. She spoke those words that she could certainly never say again.
わらわのことで悔やんでくれてありがとよでもよわらわはもう恨んでねえからなそれだけは信じてくれよ母さん
No. Oh, Dio. Me lo aspettavo completamente da quando ha detto queste parole che non ripeterò mai più, ma... vederlo scritto e sentirlo è un'altra cosa. Orco cane. Thank you for worrying so much for my sake. I really don't hate you anymore. Please, believe that, Mother. Questa storia di Butler è veramente la parte, cioè
今度は誰に問題を出してもらおうかしらね
Who should we get a puzzle from next?
あの二人はどう
What about those two?
シャノンちゃんと
Oh,
カノン
Shannon-chan and Kanon-kun?
いいわね
Sure, it looks like they will put up a good
相手にとって不足は
fight.
なさそう
お呼びですか
Do you need something, Eva-sama and Ange-sama?
姉さんはバカだな
Don't be stupid, Nesan.
問題を出せ
They're
って言って
asking
ん
us
だ
for
よ
puzzles. My apologies. Shannon was as absent-minded as ever. However, Canon looked extremely calm and would probably have a well-polished puzzle ready.
えっと
じゃあ
Okay,
僕から先に出す
I'll go first.
姉さんはそ
While
の間に
Nesan
考えて
thinks up a puzzle. Sorry.
じゃあ
So if I'm buying time for Nesan to think up a puzzle, I'll have to make up a tricky one, tricky enough to. I'll have to make one tricky enough to keep you stumped for a while. You've got guts, kid.
おいでなさい
Let's have it, shall we?
カノンくんの
Show us
思い
the
切り
hardest one
難し
you've
い
got.
問題
蒸発しない
Don't provoke him. I want an easy one.
エヴァ様のご許可がいただ
Now
け
that I have Eva-sama's permission, allow me to present an insanely difficult puzzle.
ここは任せて
Leave this one
お
to
ばさん
me.
が解いてあげるわ
I'll solve it. Okay. A scholarly king once decided to give out prizes to the learned people of his land. The one who won the copper prize got 29 gold coins. The one who won the silver prize got 47 gold coins. And the one who got the gold prize got 79 gold coins. So, how many coins were given to the one who won the platinum prize? Però, va bene, ok, 78. C. È bella, però un po' stronza.
正解です
Correct.
すごい
Awesome, Auntie Eva.
どうして
Why?
どうして78
Why is it
なの
78
金
coins?
賞より上なのに
If platinum is
どうして
better than
賞金は
gold,
金賞より
then
少
why
ない
does the
の
gold get more coins? The number of coins you get is always the same as the atomic number of the prize. Copper is 29, silver is 47, and gold is 79. And by the way, platinum is 78. So, the platinum prize gets you 78 gold coins. Auntie Eva, you're incredible! Dad once told me that Auntie Eva was an enthusiastic studier and really smart even back when she was in school. Even Giorgio Nichan, her son, is smart, so Auntie Eva must really be incredible. Still, that was a pretty nasty riddle to choose. You should have at least given one that Ange-chan could understand. You did give me permission to show her the hardest one I've got. That's fine, you said it yourself. That's why we got a puzzle that was too hard for me. Is it my fault? Sorry, Ange-chan. But look, we got a medal, so please forgive me. We've got another medal. Just how many more? Just how many have we gotten so far? Well, we still have a lot left to get. Next up is Shannon. Mine isn't that hard, so you can relax. Since you only have to think on Nesan's level. Oh, you're making fun of me. Then do you want to have a go at it too, Kanon-kun? Bring it on. It sounds you'll be able to understand it this time, Ange-chan. I'll stick to giving hints again. Okay, I'll do my best. I'll solve it. Another medal for me. Let's go then. Listen carefully. Allora. White chocolate. W. A. Anchovy pizza. P. Piri piri chicken curry. E. Black coffee. Lemonade. What letter does the question mark stand for? O. Proviamo la O, che è B. See, Ange-chan? Think about the taste of all these foods. How does white chocolate taste? Sweet. And what about anchovy pizza? Anchovy pizza. Salty. And what about piri piri chicken curry? And black coffee. I see, so that's what it is. Piri piri is spicy, coffee is bitter. So, what is it? Do the letters match the tastes? That's right. The second letter of sweet is W. The second letter of salty is A, and spicy, P, and bitter is I. So, what does lemonade taste like? Sour. Exactly. And the second letter of sour is O. So the answer for lemonade is O. Nice job. You got it right, Eva-sama and Ange-sama. Eva, Auntie Eva, you're so awesome. You had to work together to solve that one. It's a team effort. And here is my medal. Please, take it. I've got it. I got another medal. Thanks. You didn't get it, did you, Kanon-kun? I bet it was hard. Not bad coming from you, Nesan. Why don't you try saying sorry for making fun of you? If you don't, I'll make all of your meals O and I. O is one thing, but eating I all the time would be awful. I wanna eat W all the time. Careful, you'll get cavities. But if you ever come to my house to play, I'll be more than willing to share. Yay! I love you, Auntie Eva. In the end, Kanon caved under the threat of I cooking and was forced to apologize to Shannon. E adesso è il momento della verità. È perché non abbiamo preso la medaglia che non abbiamo avuto
以上で私たちの問題はおしまいです。
La zona, il dialogo in più. That's all for our
お楽
puzzles.
しみいただけ
Did
ま
you
した
enjoy
か？
them? Yeah. Thanks.
他の方も
It seems that the others still have some brain twisters waiting for you. Please be careful.
そうね。
Good point.
手強そうな人ばかり
Everyone
残
left
ってる
looks like there'll be a challenge.
でもやっつける。
But we'll
エヴ
win.
ァおばさんと
We can do it if we work together.
そうね。
That's right.
二人で知恵を出
Let's
し合って
combine our wits
頑張
and
りまし
move
ょう。
on.
いってらっしゃいませ。
Goodbye
頑張ってください
and
ね。
good luck. Eh sì. E allora dobbiamo... vabbè, dopo controlleremo cosa avremo preso con 19 punti. Mi sembra che siano 20 totali, quindi 19. Quello sarebbe stato il nostro punteggio, però non possiamo non farli tutti giusti perché ci perdiamo le scene. Shannon and Canon had returned to the kitchen with the serving cart. The dining hall was filled with such an exciting and fun atmosphere, but out there in the corridor, one was reminded of the fierce winds and the rain. But they were satisfied with this. The whole point of the noisy farewell party was to forget that the loneliness of the rain for just a little bit.
これで
So,
長かったゲー
we've
ム
reached
も
the end of
お
this
しまい
long
なんだ
game.
ね。
せいせいするよ
I feel relieved.
ようやく僕たちは
Finally, we won't have to be toys for anyone else.
静かに忘れ去られ
I'd
て
like to be quietly
誇りに埋
forgotten,
もれて消え
to
去り
get
たい
covered with dust and vanish.
違うよ。
You're wrong.
私たちは
We aren't going to
誇りに
vanish
埋も
like
れて
that.
消えるんじゃない。閉じられる
In
猫
the
箱の
world
世界
locked
で
inside the cat box,
誰にも知られ
our
ることの
future
ない
will continue,
私たちの
unknown
未来
to
を続け
anyone.
ていくんだよ。
そうだね
You're right.
そ
Sorry.
れは僕たちの知るこ
That's a
との
world
できない
that
世界だ
even we can know about. So I
忘れ
forgot.
てたよ
私たちは
Well, just what kind of future will we make for ourselves in the cat box world?
それがわからないから
No one knows. That's why it's called the cat box.
そうだ
Good
ね。
point.
姉さんは
Don't you have any regrets, Nesan,
ジョージ様のこととか
about George-sama, for instance?
姉さんは
Receiving that ring is all you can do for George-sama.
結婚も
As for marriage, living together, and all the rest.
それが叶うのが
Our future inside the cat box is
私た
what
ちの未来じゃない。
it will make all that come true, isn't it?
それは私だけじゃないよ。
I'm not the only one.
カノン君だってそ
It's
う。
the same for you, right?
ジェシカお嬢様と
What about
カノ
the
ン君の
future for
未来
you and Milady Jessica?
僕は
私がジョージ様
There's a
との
possible
婚約を
future
破棄
where I break off my engagement with George-sama and then leave the island and
ありえるん
disappear.
だよ。その世界
In
では
that world, you wouldn't have to hesitate for my
私の
sake.
ことなんかお嬢様と
You could enjoy your youth to the fullest with Milady.
姉さんがジョー
If
ジ
you
様
gave
の
up
婚
on
約
your
を諦め
engagement
られる
with
なら
George-sama,
そういう
that
世界も
sort
あ
of
るかも
world
ね
might be possible.
だから
So,
私がジョージ様
the
と
world
結
where
ばれ
I
る世界
spent my life with George-sama
あなたがお嬢
and the
様と
world
結ば
where
れる
you
世
spend
界
your
が
life with Milady
同時に存在
can
で
both
きる
exist
の
at the same time.
猫箱の中
That's
じゃない
what the inside of the cat box allows.
どんな矛盾したよ
It's a world where any contradicting dreams can exist at once.
それが
That's the world we'll be put away in as pieces.
だから
So, there's no need to be lonely, no need to be sad.
今ここにいる
Even though
私
the
は
me here right now can only observe
指輪を
the
もらう
part
とこ
where
ろ
I
までしか
accept
観測
George-sama's
できないけれ
ring.
ど
The other me who lives in the cat box in a world I cannot witness will surely build a happy life in the future. The cat box is such a strange thing, a place where any pieces and toys and dreams can be kept. There's no cage sealing us in. On the contrary, the inside of the cat box is a boundless world that frees us from everything.
全てから解放さ
A
れ
world where we're freed from everything and yet where all of our wishes come true.
でも
However, the me in that world won't be the me here and
今
now.
それがなんだか
That's a
悔
bit
しくて
depressing.
ね
Hey, Kanon-kun.
何
Yeah?
えしよっか
Let's do it.
何を
What?
決闘
Duel.
いいの
Are you sure?
私たちは
We both wish we'd settled this much sooner.
なのに
And yet,
こうしてゲ
we've
ー
put
ム
it
の
off
最後
until
の
the
瞬
last
間まで
moment, just before the game is going to end.
いいよ
Sure,
どうせ終わるゲー
the
ムさ
game is nearly over anyway.
最後の最後く
Now,
らい
at the very
僕
end,
らは自分たちの
it's
決
time
着
for us to settle things by
つけるべきだ。
ourselves.
そうすれば
That way, we'll be able to see our future before we're put away in the cat
未
box.
来を見ることができるもんね。
いいとも
Sure,
やろうじゃないか
let's do it.
何で決める
How will we decide it? How will we decide it? A
それ
coin?
ともまた
Or with pistols again?
ね、じゃ
Well,
私たち
why
も
don't we have our own quiz tournament?
は
You're really getting into this.
じゃあね。
Okay then.
第1問
Question 1. Ok, ho pianto negli altri in questo caso. No. Ok, Maria. Maria e Rosa, immagino a sto punto. I'm going to give you a really hard one. I'll trick you with my extra hard puzzle and make sure you never get my medal.
エンジェ解けるもん。
And I'm going to solve it.
絶対解けるもん。
I'm going to solve it. As soon as Maria and Ange crossed gazes, they started fighting. The two girls, so close in age, were really good friends, but they also fought a lot. Especially when they were opponents in a game.
マリアちゃんはいろいろな
Maria-chan
クイズを
probably
知って
knows
そうね
tons of different
楽
quizzes.
しみだわ
This should be interesting.
よろしくね
Let's have it.
出さないよ
Not now.
マリアは
I'm the star, so I'll go after Mama.
そう
Really?
じゃあママが
You're sure it's okay for me to go first? Hmm.
じゃあ私から出
Then
題す
I'll
る
ask the first question.
行くわよ
Ready? Ready? Okay. Rokkenjima is about to... Rokkenjima is about to explode. There's only 1 hour left until the explosion. Rosa can make it to the stack of ingots in the underground VIP room in 3 minutes. However, the ingots are heavy, so she can only carry out one at a time, and it takes her 5 minutes to carry one up to the surface. Starting at the surface and going back and forth between the surface and the underground VIP room, how many ingots can Rosa carry out of the room? Quindi secondo me è 8. Poi, nel caso fossero 7, vabbè, è un po' lame perché è abbastanza diretto, però secondo me è 8. 8 ingots.
それでいい
Are you sure?
黄金を地
It
上に
takes
運
8
ぶには
minutes to carry each ingot to the surface, right?
8×8 じゃ
8 times 8 is
60
more than 60. That's
だっ
right.
て
After all, the question asked how many can she carry out of the
イ
room.
ンゴットの部屋から
You only have to take
一個でも
one
出れ
step
ば
out of the room
持ち出
to
したことに
carry
な
it
る
out.
さすが
Nice going, Angie-chan. All those puzzles have really warmed up you good.
そういうこと
Warm you up good. That's
7
right.
往復すると
To do 7 trips, you need 8 times 7, which is 56
あと4分
minutes.
しかない
There are only 4 minutes
でも
left.
3分
However, you can make it back to the underground room in 3 minutes, then carry out the 8th ingot in the last minute.
エンジェも
Not bad, Ange. Nice one.
マリアお姉ちゃんに
I'm
は
not
負けない
going to lose to you, Marione-chan.
おめでとうこれが
Congratulations.
私のメダル
Here's my medal.
じゃあ次は
Now
マリア
you
の
can
とっておき
try
の
the
問題に
puzzle
挑戦して
Maria picked out just for you. Oh sì, aspetta, fammi fare un salvataggio qua perché se sbagliamo poi torno indietro. So it's finally my turn. You took so long on Mama's easy puzzle that I've got a little worried.
心配になっちゃったよ。エンジェに
There's no way you'll ever solve this one. No way.
エヴァおばさんが
I've got Auntie Eva with me, so we'll solve it together.
無理だよ。
Impossible, impossible. Da, da,
エ
da.
ヴァおばさんにだって
Even Auntie Eva won't solve this
狼
one.
と羊のパズル
Wolves and sheep puzzles are incredibly hard, me lo aspettavo. From her handbag, Maria pulled out a wolf and sheep puzzle book that was worn out, well used, and had a majestic feel like it was a grimoire.
狼と羊
You
のパズル
know
が
what a
わかる
wolves and sheep puzzle is, right?
わかるよ
I
何度
know.
も出された
You
もん
showed me those all the time.
こちらの騎士
They're puzzles about using a boat to take everyone from one shore of a river to the other.
大抵おかし
They
なルール
usually
がある
have
わ
a
よね
few bizarre rules.
狼と羊
When
の
there's
場合
wolves
だ
and
と
sheep, you can let the number of wolves on either shore get bigger than the number of sheep. Sheep, right?
そう
Yeah, that's right.
狼が羊を上回る
Send a boat back and forth, moving everyone to the other side while making sure that there are never more wolves than sheep.
でもね
But the ones that have just wolves and sheep are the simplest, easiest, plainest beginners basic practice puzzles.
上級編になるとね
When you get to the higher levels, you have many things other than wolves and sheep.
面白いわよ
It's pretty clever.
紙に書いた方がいいもんだ
Should we write this down on a piece of
そう
paper?
ね
Good idea. That'll definitely make it easier for you to sort your thoughts out.
まあね
E io ce l'ho qua.
この問題
Sounds like this puzzle would be a handful.
このメダルは絶
There's no way you're getting my medal, Enge.
負けないもん
I won't lose. I'm not gonna lose. Ok, allora. Dov'è la matita? Eccomi qua, pronto. You must use a 2-passenger boat to carry each person to the opposite bank of the river. On the rear bank there is a farmer, his wife, a shepherd, a sheep, a cow, some meat, and some vegetables. Each of these occupies one of 2 spots on the boat. The boat can only be rowed by the farmer, his wife, or the shepherd. If the wife is with the shepherd and the farmer isn't around, they run away together. If the shepherd is near the meat and neither the farmer nor his wife are around, he'll eat it. If the sheep is near the vegetables and the shepherd isn't around, they'll eat them. If the cow is near the vegetables and none of the humans are around, he will eat them. It's a lot of trouble to unload the meat, so once it's been unloaded once, it can't be unloaded again. The vegetables are easily bruised, so they can only ride the boat once. What is the smallest number of moves are required to achieve this objective? C'era qualcosa di impossibile, ma non mi sembra. Allora dico less than 10.
本当にひどい問題だわ
This really is a nasty problem. Can it really be solved?
荷物は川に
Is there
放り
some
込んで
trick to it, like
船を
throwing
使わず
things
に
into the
流す
river
と
and
か
letting them drift to the other
牛に
side
野菜
without
を
using
食
the
べさせて
boat?
お
Or
腹の
making the
中に
cow
入れ
eat
て
the
一人分
vegetables
に
so
し
they
て
can
運ぶとか
they can be carried as a one passenger?
そういうト
Or
ンチ
some
があ
other
るんじゃない
trick like
の
that?
さてどうかしらね
Well, who
こ
knows?
れ以上考え
If
ても
more
わからない
thinking isn't getting you
もうそういった
anywhere,
ことにするか
should we take that as you giving up?
これはすごい難しいよ
This one's really
マ
hard.
マにだって解けなか
Even
ったんだ
Mama
から
couldn't solve it.
マリアは一発
But
で
I
解い
solved it on my first try.
さあわかる
So, do you
ラ
get
ン
it?
チで全員
How many
海岸に
trips
渡
does
れ
it
るか
take to get every person across?
これトンチとか
This
謎
is a
謎よ
trick.
ね
This is a cheap trick or a riddle, right?
絶対まともに
Oddio,
考えて解けないわよね
io non l'ho pensato in questa maniera. È solo le persone? Io lo sto cercando di risolverlo in maniera giusta. So there's no way you can solve this straightforwardly.
そんなことないわよ
No, that's not
賢
true.
い姉さん
I'm
が
sure
きっと
you'll
わか
get
る
it, Nathan, smart as you
な
are.
んてで全員
How
が
many
海岸
trips
に
does it get to get every person across? 1, 2, 3.
わかった
I've got it.
なんで
3 trips.
3点
3?
どうして
How?
だって
It's easy. The farmer and his wife get on a boat, then the wife gets sucked off and on the other side in the first move. Then the farmer takes the boat back across the second move. Then he crosses with the shepherd in the third move.
牛とか羊と
But
か
what about the cow and the
肉
sheep?
とか野菜と
What
かは
about
ど
the
うする
meat
の
and the
よ
vegetables?
だって
But
全員
Auntie Eva, it says to take every person across, right?
人じゃないし
Cows aren't people. Vaffanculo. Bested once again. E quindi io direi che anche se dobbiamo fare tutte quante giuste, -2. Auntie Eva mouth flopped open. Auntie Rosa started applauding. After clicking her tongue, Maria Nechan joined in.
正解よ。
That's
問
right.
題が聞いて
The
るのは
question just asked how many moves it would take to move each person
動
across.
物も荷物
The animals and luggage never had anything to do with it.
ママが全員
They only got it because they kept on saying every person over and over again, Mama. Oh. Auntie Rosa had probably said it so much as a sort of hint. Without that, even I wouldn't have figured it out.
もう
Come on. I was totally taken
意
in.
地悪問題だった
That
なん
was
て
a
ね
mean question.
ほらマリア
Go on, Maria. Give Ange-chan her medal.
う
Whining like an unhappy dog, she reluctantly handed the medal over. I grabbed it and started jumping around like a happy dog. As Maria Onicha smiled at me from behind, her face was bright, just like a big sister's. Ne avremo 11 però in questo caso, meno 2. Ma dobbiamo vedere tutte le scene.
これで私たちの
That's
問
the
題
end
は
of
おし
our
まいよ
riddles.
またぜひ
Let's play again sometime, okay?
その時は
Next time I'll have a really nasty puzzle that's even
ひど
harder.
い問題を用意しておくからね。マリアにも解けない
One so hard that even I can solve it.
やだ
No way! I'm not playing with you anymore.
ほらエンジェちゃん
Look, Ange-chan,
お父さんたち
your
が手を挙げ
parents
て
are
きてる
waving
よ
at you,
行きましょ
so
う
let's go.
じゃあね後で
See
ね
you
ローザ
later, Rosa.
じゃあ
Sure.
ねエンジェちゃん
Later,
問
Ange-chan.
題を出してくれ
There
る
aren't
人
too
も
many people left with puzzle for you.
最後まで頑張って
Keep
ね
it up until the
姉
end.
さんも
Make sure you keep cheering her on, Nesan.
もちろん
Of course.
私たちで協力
We've
して
got all these medals by working together, right? Yeah. We dashed away. Dad and Mom are waving at me from over there. I'm sure they fought up some mean problems. Still, they're bound to be easier than Marionechan's. I hate Marionechan. She's such a meanie. Oh, Sakutaro, da quanto tempo?
意地悪な問題で
You
決め
bullied
す
her
ぎだ
too
よ
much with that puzzle.
だって
Well, I wanted to play with Ange-chan a lot.
簡単な問題だったら
If it was an easy one, she'd solve it right away, right?
マリアはエンジェのこと
You really love
大好
Ange,
きだもん
don't you?
ね嫌いだよ
I hate her. She made fun of you and called you a stuffed animal. Maria pouted as she said this, but her expression didn't match her words at all.
エンジェは
I hope
幸
Ange
せ
finds
になれる
happiness.
といいねなれるよ
I'm sure she will.
だって
After all,
これ
look
だけ
at
の
all
大
the
勢
people
が
here
あの
wishing
子
for her
の幸せを
happiness.
願ってるそしてバトラー
And
は
now, Butler is the game master and he set up this final game just for
この
her.
最後のゲームを開いてるそこまでしてもらって
After all this, there's no way she won't be happy.
でも
Still,
幸せは
even though
みんなが
everyone
用意す
can
る
bring a
ことが
person
できてる
happiness, only the person can grasp it for themselves.
そうだね
That's
あ
right.
の子は
That kid is really bad at finding fragments of happiness.
すごい下手なのそれを
We
教
can
え
try
る
to
よりも
teach her how,
12
but
年間の
12 years of time had
あの子
sealed
の
her
耳を
ears
塞いでしま
uptight.
ったこのゲーム
This game might be much harder for Ange than
エン
Butler
ジェも
thinks.
難しいかもしれない僕は
I'm sure that
エンジ
Ange
ェはき
will
っと
find
幸
happiness.
せになってくれると思うなそうだね
Yeah.
このパーティー
If she really does enjoy herself at this party,
それが
that itself might be the greatest lesson we can teach her
精一
now.
杯かもしれない
Ange, the girl who won't believe any magic shown to her, calling them simply tricks. 12 years in the future, she will become the last person to inherit Beatrice's name.
あの子は
At one point in time, that kid understood my white
理
magic.
解したんだようん
Yeah,
僕のことも
and
理
she
解してく
understood
れた
me
よ
too.
七姉妹の
She even
みんなから
summoned
飛び出し
all of the seven
魔法を
sisters and
理解した
understood magic itself.
そんな彼女が
And yet, she
自分
still
だけは
can't use magic on
魔法を
herself.
使えないのね
信じよ
Let us believe.
かつてのバトラー
Butler used to be much the same.
ベアと
Yato!
人に魔法をか
It's
ける
easy
の
to
は
cast
大切
magic on other people,
そして
and believing in other people's magic is not so difficult.
最も難し
The
い
hardest thing is casting magic
自ら
on
に魔
yourself.
法をかけることなのだ
それがエンジェ
If
に
that's something
で
Ange
き
can
る
do.
かな
できると思う。
She
あの
can.
バトラー
Even
でさ
that
え
butler
魔法を
managed to understand magic.
その妹
Of
に
course,
で
his
きると
little
思う。
sister will be able to do the same.
そうだね
You're
子
right.
供のうちにしか
There are some magics that we can only see when we're
大人
kids.
になって
There are some that only adults can understand.
エンジは今
Right now,
その
Ange is
狭間に
between the two of those.
子供の魔法を
She lost the magic of children, and yet
さりとて
she had yet to
大人の
understand
魔
the
法を
magic of
理解で
adults,
きぬ
the most painful period
最
of
も
one's
辛
life.
き世代であるな。
そんな時に
It's so sad that she didn't have anyone close to her during that period.
そんなことないよ
That's not true.
私たちはいつだって
We were always
あ
by
の
that
子の
kid's
そばにいる
side.
んだよあの子が
She just
それを
doesn't
信じ
believe
ない
it.
だけで
Ange, please, realize this quickly. There are so many people smiling at you from behind, watching over you. If you would just turn around, we would be able to smile at you so much more and talk to you so much more. Ange Beatrice, final witch of Mariage Sorcière.
正しい結末にたどり着け
Even
ない
if you
として
aren't
も
able to reach the proper end,
せめて今
I
夜は
pray that you can at least
君が
enjoy
楽しんで
yourself
くれる
tonight.
ことを
Have fun, Ange. So long. Time we spent together feels so long yet so short. Even so, for me, the memory is eternal.
どうだエンジェ
How is it, Ange? Ah, abbiamo sbagliato tutto. How is it going, Ange?
メダルはいっぱい集まったが
Did you get a ton of medals?
何枚くらいあるだろうね
I wonder how many it is now.
さあね
Ah, me
後で
too.
数えてみま
Let's
しょう
count
ね
them later, okay?
もうだいぶ大勢か
It
ら
seems
問題
you've
をもら
been
って
given quite a few puzzles already.
お
Yeah,
母さんたちに問
once
題
I
をもらっ
get
たら
your puzzles,
あとは
only the
どこの
cousins are
みんなだ
left,
と思う
I think.
そうかそうか
Sure, sure.
よし
Okay,
お父さんたちの
time
問
to
題
take
に
a
挑ん
shot
で
at
みろ
mom and dad's puzzles.
難しいぞ
Shot. I'll warn you, they're gonna be hard.
みんな同じこと言ってたけど
Everyone says the same thing, but we just keep on solving them. Yeah, so we'll get those medals together.
その息よ
That's the spirit.
じゃあ
Okay,
私
I
が
guess
問題
I'll
を
go
出そうか
first.
しら
Ok. Ma questi sono... è Igurashi questo. Eh sì, appunto. Io non so quasi nulla di Igurashi, però i nomi li conosco. Rika, Sakoto, Miyoko. Ok. There are 3 girls. Miyoko, I am the oldest. Satoko, Rika isn't the oldest. Rika, Miyoko is a liar. Nipa! Only the oldest of the 3 girls is speaking the truth. So, who is the oldest? Ok. Sei Miyoko piango. Ok. Rika, C. Rika!
正解
That's right.
さすが
Nice job, Ange-chan.
娘は
Hard to imagine that such a smart girl is related to that dolt of a father.
見てみたいわ
間抜けで悪うござんしたな
Yeah, sorry for being a
お
dolt.
見事だぜ
Nice
エンジェ
going, Ange.
全部の組み合わ
Did
せ
you
を考え
think
て
all of that? Did you think of all the combinations? Yeah.
ミヨコが一
If
番
Miyoko is the
年上だと
oldest,
すると
then what
サトコの
Satoko
言う
says
こと
is
は本当
true.
になっちゃう本当のことは
Only the oldest
一番
person
年
is
上しか
supposed
言
to
わない
tell
は
the
ずだから
truth, so
これ
that
じゃお
doesn't
か
make
しい
sense.
その通り
That's
じゃあ
right.
サトコが
Then
一
what
番
if
年上の場合
Satoko
は
is the oldest?
そうすると
If she is, then Rika, who says that Miyoko is a liar, will be telling the truth, which doesn't work. È vero, è vero.
だからリカが一番年上じゃないとダメな
So
の
Rika has to be the oldest.
よくできました
Good job. Here's
これが
my
私
medal
か
for
らの
you.
メダルよおめでとう
Congrats.
ありがとうお母さん
Thank you, Mom. Rudolph is up next. I wonder what sort of puzzle he has for us.
じゃあ俺も
Well,
同
I
じ
guess
嘘
I'll
つき
do a
問題
liar
を出そうか
puzzle
な
too.
今度は
Let's crank it up a notch this time. Oh Dio mio. This time Miyoko, Satoko and Rika are all wearing masks. None of them know who is who. We'll have to write on a paper, so we'll have them write on a paper so no one can recognize the voices of the others. Girl on the right, The girl in the middle is Miyoko. Girl in the middle, the girl on the left is Miyoko. Girl on the left, the girl on the right is Satoko. Miyoko is telling the truth, however, Satoko and Rika aren't necessarily lying. So, from left to right, who are these three girls? Dio santo! Ok, per me è la E. Miyoko, Rika, Satoko. Satoko, come hanno pronunciato prima. Io vado con la E. I know who Miyoko is. She's on the left. After all, the girls in the middle and on the right both says that someone else is Miyoko. If they were Miyoko, they couldn't lie and say that someone else was Miyoko. That's right. Miyoko is supposed to be honest. So anyone who says someone else is Miyoko can't be Miyoko. So, since the middle one and the right one aren't Miyoko, the left one automatically is. Quello che ho detto io. And since Miyoko speaks the truth, then it's also true that the kid on the right is Satoko. Which means that the only kid left, the one in the middle, is Rika. Perfect. You solved it like it was nothing. Ange, you really are smart like your mom. Dad rubbed my cheek and hugged me. Yay! Ok, vediamo che cosa hanno da dire adesso questi due pezzi di merda. That's all for our puzzles. Listen up, Ange. Life will lead you through countless puzzles. Auntie Eva is here to help you now, so it's okay to rely on her. However, you have to solve most problems in life by yourself. When that happens, you must remember the advice you've gotten from those who have helped you in the past. Okay, I get it. Eva-san, take care of Ange. Yes, of course. Even though the cousins were the only ones who hadn't given us puzzles, Mom spoke as though I was leaving on a long trip. Weird. Let's go, Ange-chan. The game will be over soon. I wonder what Grandpa will give us for getting all these medals. Oh, me too. Still, we've already gotten a lot that's far more wonderful than the prize. What do you mean? We all had a lot of fun talking to you like this, Ange-chan. I don't get it. You're weird. I'm sorry. Let's go then. Now, all that's left are the cousins and Beatrice, I guess. Ecco. What is it? Why did you tell me to come over here? Is this something to do with Ange? No, that's not it. Rudolph put a cigarette in his mouth and toyed with the lighter. Though lighting a cigarette should have been second nature to him, he somehow managed to mess up several times. I wanted to take this to my grave, eccolo. No, to hide it away in a cat box. If I just kept my mouth shut until tomorrow night, I'll be able to do that. It'd be easy. I've been thinking, I'm probably gonna get murdered tonight. But I've gotta say it. I've known all along that you had something you were hiding. Have you? Guess I still need more practice. If it isn't about Ange, then who is it about? Not Asumu-san, surely. It's about Butler. That comes to the same thing. I've been very adult in my treatment of Butler-kun, if you ask me. Even though he's Asumu-san's son, I've treated him the same as Ange. I do think of him as a child in our family, so don't worry. He's not just a kid in our family. He's my kid and yours. I'm sorry, but you'll have to let me draw a line there. You don't get it.
俺と
It's my kid
お前の
and
子なんだよ
yours.
なんですって。
死産したのはお前じゃない。
You didn't have a stillbirth.
アスムだ。
Azumo did.
あの時
Back then, when I was
お前と
double
アスム
timing the
二
two
股を
of
生
you,
産できず
I got myself stuck and I couldn't find a way out.
まさか。まさか。
You don't mean.
アスムと俺は
Azumo and I were married,
お前とは浮気の関係
and
だ。
you and I were cheating.
そしてアスム
Then
が死産した
Azumo had stillbirth
お
and
前
you
は出
gave
産し
birth.
ちまった。俺の頭は知っ
My
ちゃ
head was a mess with it all. The sin that Rudolph brazenly committed when his mind was at its most chaotic was to switch the two babies.
あの頃は今以上
I
に
was better off
金が
financially back then.
若かったから
I was young and I didn't give a damn about what lengths I went to.
札束でしばきながら
I threatened the
病院に戻して
hospital with money and switched your kid with Asmus. If Kiri had a child, Rudolph would have two households to worry about. However, if Kiri had a stillbirth and the child who survived was Azumus, that would settle everything. The stillbirth might even have given him a chance to break off his relationship with Kyria. It was a grave sin, one that simply couldn't be forgiven as an act of youthful enthusiasm and immaturity.
だから俺は
That's why
お前た
I
ち
should be apologizing to all
謝
three of
ら
you.
なきゃいけない。アスムには
I forced Azumu to raise a
血
kid
の
that
つな
wasn't
がらない
hers.
赤ん坊を押し付けた。あいつはおっとりして
That
るように
woman
見
may
え
have
て
looked easygoing, but she was surprisingly sharp.
ひょっとしたら
There's a chance that she
気づいて
figured
た
it
かも
out.
しれない。でも
However, she raised Butler, who loved her as a mother with all the affection she
最後
had.
まで愛情たっぷりに育ててくれたよ。
And in Kiri and Butler cases, he had to atone for every greater sin. He stole every moment of everyday family life that they should have shared as a mother and son. Until this very day, Kiri had believed that Butler was Azumu's child. Though she had acted kindly towards him on the surface, she had always kept a distance in her heart between herself and Azumu's son. Finally, Rudolph's conscience had been unable to bear seeing her like that.
そんな。私は。
But Kiri sank into the couch, unable to speak.
俺を罵ってくれ。
Feel free to curse
Yeah.
me. In fact, I couldn't complain if you killed me where I
俺
stand.
はそれだけのことを
That's
した
how horrible my sin against you
こ
is.
れが
This is the secret I wanted to confess before the cat box closes over
俺が
us.
白状したかった秘密だ。
バトル。
But cool. Ah, into a crouch. Ok, scusami, into a crouch, no couch. Ma era possibile che ci fosse stato un sofà lì.
すまん。
I'm sorry,
キリ
Kiria.
バトル。
And to you too, Butler. Come to think of it, we've already gone through a ton of puzzles. Yeah, now there's only George Onichan, Jessica Onichan, Butler Onichan, and Beatrice left.
ペアトリーチェだけだね。
Oh, we're finally here.
待ちくたびれだよ。
We've been waiting a painfully long
僕
time.
たちのことを
We
忘れ
thought
てる
you
んじゃない
might
か
have
心配
forgotten
した
about us. Finally, we challenged George Onichan and Jessica Onichan.
お待たせしたわね。
Sorry to keep you two
二
waiting.
人とも
So, did you think up some incredibly hard ones for us?
私たちは
We decided to give you one puzzle together.
あら。
Oh my, even one riddle from this pair sounds challenging.
エンジェちゃんのために用意した
It's a special puzzle we made just for Enje-chan. So, good luck.
解けるもん。
I'll solve it.
解けるもん。
I'll definitely solve it.
じゃあ
Okay
早速
then,
始めようか
let's
な
get started.
ジェシカちゃん
Jessica-chan, let's see them out.
ほいきた。
There you go. They placed 3 small, colorful cubic boxes on the table. Two of these are traps, and one has a medal inside. Ange-chan, do you think you can guess which one has the medal inside? I can't do it without a hint. That's just luck. That's right. So far, this is just a test of luck with these 3 choices. In other words, your odds of winning are 1 in 3. George, this isn't a quiz, right? It really is just a test of luck. The puzzle comes later. Let's move ahead. Okay, Ange, which of these has a medal inside, do you think? Just say the first one that pops into your head. A red box, a blue box, and a green box. There's no way to know which one it's in. This really is just a test of luck. In a way, this is even worse than a hard puzzle. After all, you can always get a hard puzzle right, you just have to solve it. But in the very beginning, I picked the almond with a 1 in 15 chance. Compared to that 1 in 3 chance, it's 5 times easier to get. There's no point worrying about it. Might as well test my luck again. Then this one. The red box? Then let's set this box right in front of you. Wouldn't it be great if there was a medal inside? So let's start with a little warm-up. The probability of the medal being inside the red box is 1 in what? 1 in 3. That's right. If this really is a simple test of luck. Are you sure, Ange? Are you absolutely sure you're happy with that red box? After all, we're gonna make you open it in a second. If it's a trap, it'll be really scary. Cos'è? È affari tuoi? Io chiamo il notaio, Jessica. Jessica Onechan grinned threateningly. Are you happy with the red box? The medal might be in the blue box or the green box. Do you want to change your mind? It's not fair for them to scare me like that. Not after I've already made my choice. And I know, all of the boxes have the same probability of having a medal in them. Whether I open the red box or change my mind and open a different box, the probability will be the same. So stick with your first choice is my motto. I'll stay with this red box. I won't change my mind. I'm happy with the red box. I'll bet on it. That's the spirit. But seriously, the traps are really terrifying. Why don't we show you just how scary they are? Jessica Onechan laughed creepily and then opened the green box. And then, with the violent sound of a party popper, pumpkin monsters and ribbon came flying out of the box. I was a little scared. No, that's a lie. I was really scared. If that came flying out of the box I opened right at my face, I might fall to my knees and start crying. No, povera. Ange, are you sure you want the red box? Something really scary might come flying out, right? Are you sure you don't want to switch to the blue box? I'm not scared. I'll stick with the red box. You're going a bit overboard, Jessica-chan. So, now that one of the boxes is gone, there's only two left. This is where the puzzle starts, Ange-chan. You mean which box is the medal in? We have the red box that's been sitting in front of you this whole time, and the blue box here in front of me. Which has the higher probability of having a medal inside? That's the puzzle. Allora, there are 3 boxes, one red, one blue and one green. One of these boxes has a medal inside, the other 2 have terrifying traps inside. I picked the red box. Then Jessica said, "Are you sure you want that one? The trap boxes are really terrifying. I'll open one and show you." And she opened the green box, showing me that it was a trap box. Only the red and blue boxes were left. Do you still want to open the red box, or do you want to switch? So, which box has a higher probability of holding the medal? The red box or the blue box? Ok, va bene. E allora the blue box. The blue box, che è quella che c'ha George e Jessica. C. The odds are better for the blue box. Huh? And why is that? Well, I just sort of... Think back to the 15-slice cake that you found the almond in. If there was only one almond, the odds of winning were 1 in 15, right? Yeah, 1 in 15. I figured that one out when the cake first appeared. I thought that waiting for a lot of people to get wrong once would make my chances for winning higher. But in the end, no matter when I ate my slice, the odds were still 1 in 15. Still, Ange-chan, what if the servant who had been eating that cake and it actually... What if the servant had also been eating that cake and he actually started with 20 slices? Huh? What? This is a party, right? That's not fair that the servant don't get any cake, don't you think? So, let's say that it was originally a 20-slice cake. The servant took out 5 slices, then redecorated it as a 15-slice cake, and let you choose a slice. If so, what would your chances of choosing the right slice be? If there were really 20 slices, then the chances would be 1 in 20. However, the servants know where the almond is, so they chose 5 slices for themselves that had no almond. In other words, they removed 5 losing slices. That would mean your chances of winning were 1 in 15, not 1 in 20. They took... Oh, ok, ora sta cliccando tutto. They took out losing slices, so it's only natural that the probability of winning would go up. Just now, Jessica-chan did the same thing. Jessica-chan took 1 losing box away from the pair of boxes that you didn't choose. In other words, the odds of the winner being on either side, Aspetta, the odds of the winner being on the side you didn't choose went a bit up, right? I sort of get it, but not really. If you remove a losing box, it's only natural that your chances of getting the right one go up. Just now, Jessica Ne-chan removed a losing box from the boxes I didn't choose. So doesn't it make sense that my odds of winning with those boxes went up? Now I'm getting confused. Actually, you are incredible, Ange-chan. Even though you're only 6, you're trying to understand posterior probability, a concept in probability theory. Probability really is interesting. I'm sure you'll like it when you get into high school and college. Go and enjoy studying it all you can. My little head was already filled to the brim. Bewildered, I had to beg Auntie Eva for an explanation. Auntie Eva wore a bitter smile too. I bet she doesn't really get it herself. As we felt a sense of connection through this failure, we happily grasped the medals that we had wrung out of them. Yay! E quindi le medaglie sono 18 alla fine, no? Immagino. Beh, potrebbero essere che Butler... No. Manca solo... Manca Butler e Beatrice. Ok. Ange-chan? Could you come over here for a second? What is it, Giorgio Ne-chan? Giorgio Ne-chan and Jessica Ne-chan were calling to me from the window. Auntie Eva was talking with Mom and the others, and since it looked like there'd be a while, I went over to Giorgio Ne-chan and Jessica Ne-chan. What?
もうすぐ
Looks like the quiz tournament is almost over. Yeah,
あとは
there's only Butler, Nietzsche and Beatrice
ベア
left.
トリーチェでおしまい。なんだか
I'm starting to get sleepy. It's probably because of that adult drink I swiped from Dad. I felt floaty ever since I drank that. That floaty feeling keeps getting stronger and I've been feeling sleepy for a while now. I gave a huge yawn.
眠い
Sleepy?
うん。
Yeah.
ソファーがあったら
If I had a sofa, I'd probably fall asleep.
そっか。
I
じゃあ
see.
もうじき
Then I guess it's almost time for this party to end. The party will end if I fall asleep? But I just wanted to take a nap while everyone else kept having fun.
僕たちのさっきの問題
Was our puzzle just now a hard one?
うん。
Yeah,
未だによく
I
わかん
still
ない
don't really get
そ
it.
れに
And I'm sleepy.
あれは事後確
It's
率
called posterior
ある
probability.
特定の
That's
情報
what
を
we
知る
call it when the probability of something changes because we learn or fail to learn some sort of information. Fa addormentare. Did Giorgio Nietzsche call me all the way over here to lecture me on math? For some reason I feel even sleepier now.
もし
So,
10個のケーキの中に
if we add one almond in 10 slices of cake, our chances of getting it are 10%. But what if we learn that those 10 pieces were chosen at random from 100 pieces?
10分の1どころか
You'd think that the probability went from 10 to 1 in 100, right?
エンジェちゃんが選んだケ
Absolutely
ーキ
nothing has changed about your slice of
エ
cake.
ンジェちゃんが何
But
かを知る
depending
こと
on
に
whether you know or don't know a certain fact, the probability of your slice being a winner changes.
不思議な話だと
Doesn't
思わ
that
ない
sound strange?
その話
That sounds hard.
難しそうだから
I don't wanna think about it.
エンジェいい
Angel,
から最後まで聞いて
please just listen until the end. Jessica Onechan's voice grew a bit stern. As young as I was, I couldn't understand what all this was supposed to mean to me.
僕が君に伝えたいのは
There's only one thing I want to
たった
tell
一つ
you.
だからこれだけ
So
は
please don't forget this.
何
What?
これから未来
In the future,
様々な情報が
various bits of information will affect the slice of cake in your hands.
それらを知ることで
By learning about
君の
those,
ケーキの中
the
身が
inside of your
様々なもの
slice
に変
might
化するかも
change.
しれないそれは
Sometimes they'll change to things you want,
でもおそらく
but most likely,
それらのほ
almost
とんどは
all the changes will
君
be
の望ま
into
ない
bad
ものに変
things.
化するだろう
真実は
The truth is always right there in your hands, Ange.
誰かの言葉や
Don't you think it's stupid to let it change around just because you heard someone else's words, just because you heard what they think the truth should be?
君の中の真実は
Truth inside of you has been in your hands from
君
the
の手の
beginning.
中にあるんだよそしてその中
And the
に
nature of that truth is actually something you
君
decide
自
for
身が決め
yourself.
ているんだ君が何を聞き
You change it yourself depending on what you hear and what you refuse to listen
そ
to.
の中身を変化させている
意味がわからないと思うぜ
You probably don't get what we're
でも
saying,
理解して
but you have to understand.
6歳のエンジェには
Even
わ
if
から
you
なくても
can't understand when you're 6 years old, I'm sure you will once 12 years have passed. With very serious expression on their faces, they grasped my shoulders as they spoke. I don't know what they're trying to tell me.
君の手の中の
The
真
truth
実
that lies in your hands is not unchangeable.
それは
You will be interfered with, you'll be interfered with in many ways that will make it change.
だからもし
So if the truth you hold in your hands is really important to you,
したいと願うなら
その真
you
実を
need to protect it
エンジェが
yourself.
自分で守るんだそれを
Don't forget it.
あとはお兄ちゃんとベアトリーチェの問題
All that's left is a puzzle from you and Beatrice, and I'm done.
そうか
I see.
あれだけ大勢いたの
Even
に
though there were so many of
もう
us,
おしまい
it
なんだ
looks like it's finally over.
どうであったか
How was it?
今夜のパーティ
Did
ー
you
の感想
enjoy tonight's party? Yeah, it was
で
fun,
もちょっと
but I think I'm a bit sleepy.
そうね
That's no
あれだ
surprise,
けはしゃいだもんね
considering how much we've been running around. I rubbed my eyes. I must have gotten really excited, and whenever I get excited, I always feel tired afterwards. Right now, I'd rather have a sofa to lie on than medals. I've got a special puzzle just for you. But are you sure you want it? If you're sleepy, you can stop now. No, I've come this far, so I'll keep going. Oni-chan and Beato laughed at my yawn. It looks like it's time to call it a day. Yes, Ange, let's leave my puzzle for later. It's too difficult to be solved or one with eyes as sleepy as that. No way! I've come this far and I also want Oni-chan's medal. I'm just so sleepy. Ange drifted over to a chair in the corner of the room and plopped down onto it. Then she closed her eyes, looking like a doll sitting there. It didn't take long before the cute sound of her breathing in her sleep could be heard. When she saw that Ange was finally asleep, Beato spoke softly. Quiet, please, everyone. Ange fell asleep. When she said those words, the pleasant noise that had filled the room softly returned to silence. Everyone looked down upon Ange's sleeping face. Each of them wore an affectionate gaze, and as if they just watched the baby finally drift to sleep. Did Ange-chan have a good time? Of course she did. She might not feel that strongly about it now, but one day she will surely remember tonight's party and appreciate how fun it was. You're right. It was fun for us too, getting to play with Ange-chan. By this point, everyone was standing in a wide circle around Ange as she slept. Now that the guest of honor was asleep, this Halloween party had reached a conclusion.
さらばだ、我が孫よ。おじいちゃんが12年ぶりに遊べて嬉しかったぞ。私のことを何も覚えていなくてもよい。傲慢なる暴君と記憶してくれてもよい。だがたまには目に入れても痛くないほどに可愛がっていたことも思い出しておくれ。
So long, my granddaughter. I was pleased to have this chance to play with you again after 12 years. It matters not if you forget everything about me. Remember me as an arrogant despot, but every now and then, try to remember how much I adored you.
思い出しますとも。
No, she will remember. Ange-san,
あんたの人生は長い。
you have a long life ahead of you. Even after 12 years, there's still much of you to experience.
その人生が有意義な
I pray that you find this life meaningful and worthwhile. Sempre telepatico Kraus a sto giro. You are the final grandchildren and daughter of the Ushiromiya family. We all pray for your happiness.
エンジェちゃん、お元気で。幸せは見つけるものでなく、作るものです。
Ange-chan, stay well. Happiness isn't something you find, it is something you make.
思い出も。
And in fact, memories work the same way. True. True. There are some things that we only truly understand when we think back on them years later.
わしのこの愛嬌ある顔、たまには思い出してや。
Make sure you remember. Mio Dio. L'episodio 8 mi sta uccidendo so far. Make sure you remember my pretty face every now and then. Just having you remember us is the greatest memorial service we could ever have.
いやね。
Oh, come on. It's not like we're dying.
猫箱の向こうという
We're just going to the inside of the cat box, the other side of the curtain.
せやな。
That's right.
なんてもんやない。
It's not even a curtain.
今と同じや。
It's just like we are now.
エンジちゃんはすやすや
Angie-chan there sleeping away.
わしらはこうして
The rest of us are right by her side,
それ
watching
を見
over.
守っとる。わしらはいつだってそばにおるんやで。
We'll always be with her. All of them still warm smiles, but the sound of sniffling came from several places throughout the room. Arroyo. This parting wasn't only for the girl who wasn't able to be here this day. It was also for all those people who weren't able to meet her here, who never had the chance to say goodbye.
エンジ、力強く生きろよ。
Angie, live life
俺
strongly.
たちの血が流れてる。
Our blood flows through your
絶対
veins.
に
That definitely will bring you strength.
エヴァ姉さん
Kirie, tu non hai diritto di dire nulla, stronzo di merda comunque.
うち
Evanescence,
の娘のことを
take care of our
よ
daughter.
ろ素直じゃない子だし
She's not honest with
わがまま
herself,
で短気な
and she'll often be selfish and so short-tempered.
きっと迷惑ばかり
She might be a pain all the time, but
私がきっと幸
I'll
せ
make
に
sure
す
she's
るわ
happy.
エンジェちゃんが望む限り
As long as that's what she wants.
エンジェ様、私の顔を覚えていなくても構いません。でもせめて私の料理の味だけは忘れないでください。
Goda, non farmi piangere anche tu, porca. Goda. Ah. Cioè, fra tutte le persone che mi stanno facendo piangere di più, Kinzo, Hideyoshi e Goda, fino adesso, fino adesso. C'è anche un fazzoletto, vaffanculo, li ho finiti tutti. Angie-sama, it's okay if you forget my face, but please, at least remember the taste of my cooking.
この熊さんのことも覚えているとは申しません。でもせめてサバの絞り汁ジュースの味だけは忘れないでくださいませ。
Che coglione che sei, Kumasawa. I won't ask you to remember old Kumasawa, but please at least remember the taste of mackerel juice. Someone said, when do you feed her that? And everyone laughed.
本当に可愛い寝顔ね
Her face looks so cute, sleeping there like that. She looks just like an angel, just like her name.
天使じゃないよ。魔女だよ。
She's not an angel, she's a
エ
witch.
ンジェが最後の魔女。エンジェ・ベアトリーチェにね。
Angie's the final witch, Angie Beatrice.
その魔法は彼女を幸せに
I
して
wonder if
くれ
that
る
magic will bring her happiness.
白き魔女になるか。
Will she become a white witch or a black witch?
それは
That's for
エンジェ
Angie
が決め
to
るよ。
choose.
私はその両方を
I've shown her both sides.
きっと彼女の
I'm
辛
sure
い
a
人生
painful life is ahead of you.
エンジェちゃんはきっと
You
世界
probably
一
believe
自由
that
な子
you're
供
all
たちを
alone
信
in
じ
this
て
world,
でも
but we will
私たちは
always
あ
be
なた
there
の
right
すぐ後
behind
ろに
you,
いて
cheering
い
you
つ
on.
も応援してるからねそれを忘れないでね
Don't forget that.
エンジ忘れるんじゃないぜ
Angie, don't
自
forget
分も幸せ
yourself, your happiness, your fate.
作るのは自分なんだ
You're the one who creates all of these things.
自分だけが決める
Only you can choose.
それは誰かに与えられるもの
Those
で
aren't things that someone else can give you, and they aren't things that someone else can hide from you.
それを
Remember,
忘れるんじゃないぜ人は伝わったと信じます
I'm certain your message reached there.
だといいけど
I hope so.
僕とお嬢様の物語は
I'm certain that the tale of the two of us will help Angie-san understand. Yeah. Ho capito. È un po'... La storia di loro due è una storia che non si è mai realizzata perché nessuno di loro ha fatto il primo passo. E quindi il loro destino è rimasto solo nell'aria. Ecco. Questo è quello che sta dicendo Jessica Enge.
ジョージ様も何か
Don't you have anything to tell her, George-sama?
僕から伝えたいことはもう
Scusate per lo sniffling, poi mi alzo e vado a soffiarmi il naso. I've already said all I wanted with that box puzzle.
あの難解な問題から
Will that
何
puzzle
かを
teach her
聞いててくれ
something?
るでしょうか。
わからない。
I don't
で
know.
も
But I do
彼女
know
は
that
そう
she is
念だけで
wise.
きっと
I'm sure she'll learn something from it.
エンジェ様、
Enge-sama,
あなたが正しき
I
未来
pray
の道
that you are guided along the right path as you move on to the future. One by one they stepped forward and said words of farewell to Enge. Then finally Butler and Beato walked forward.
エンジェ、少しはみんなのことは思い出してくれたか。
Enge, were you able to remember everyone, at least a little bit? Of course, Enge didn't answer in her sleep, but Butler continued.
確かに後ろ宮家は
It is true that the Ushiromiyas are a strange family.
大金持ちた
We are
ち
super rich, and that's given rise to all sorts of rumors and stories.
しかしそんなのも全
However,
て
all of those are just speculation made up by people outside the
憶
island.
測だ。
幼さゆえに優しき思い出を
Young as you
記
were,
憶に
no
留
one
め
will
られな
blame
か
you
った
for
その
forgetting the memories that were so
誰も
kind to
責め
you.
はせぬ。しかしそれでも
But even so, you must remember, for their sakes.
忘れることが罪ではない。
It is not a sin to forget.
思い出さぬことが
The sin is to refuse to remember.
俺たち全員
All of
エン
us.
ジェをパーティーに呼ん
We're
で
really happy to have you at this
本当
party.
に楽しかったぜ。な、
Right, everyone? Everyone nodded at Butler's words. Everyone knew about the merciless and lonely fate that awaited her. It was no longer possible for them to heal those wounds. If there was one thing they could do, is to make her remember what a kind, fun family she had once had. And to remind her that today and into the future they would always care for her and watch over her.
言うまでもなく
It goes without
これは幻
saying
想だ。
that this is an illusion.
そなたは
You cannot come to Rokkenjima on October 4th,
10月4
1986.
日のロッケン島にはたどり着けぬ。これはすべて
This whole party we shared was all a magical illusion created by the Game
そ
Master
なたと
Butler.
わらわたちが一夜のパーティーを共にするという。
でも
But you remember now, right?
思い出せただろ。みんながどれだけ優
How
しく
kind everyone was and how much of a blast we all had at the family
親
conferences.
族会議で団らんしていたが、本当のことを
Do you remember the truth?
思い出してくれただろう。
Ange breathed softly in her sleep. Who knows if those words truly reached her?
エヴァおばさん、
Auntie Eva,
エンジェを
take care of her.
頼むぜ。
私なんかに彼女の母親になる資格
You really think that I deserve to become her mother?
あるぜ。
I do.
おばさん自身、
Even though your own sadness was so unbearable,
エンジェの母になろう
you
と
tried so hard to be a mother for
頑張って
Angel.
くれた。
でも私は結局
But in the end,
いいんだ、
it's alright.
エンジェ。
Angel, listen carefully. Butler grasped Angel's hand and took Eva's hand and joined the two hands together.
悲しい運命により、
We know that a tragic fate led to a future where the two of you hurt each
俺たち
other.
は知ってる。それはエンジェにとっても悲
It
しいこ
was
と
a
だし
very sad thing for you, and just as sad for Auntie Eva.
お前に心を開け
It
た。
wasn't fair on you that you were asked to open your heart to her,
そして
and it wasn't fair on Auntie Eva that she was asked to endure her own sadness for your sake.
自分の悲しみに耐えてほしいと頼むのも、
そなたも
Neither of you
どちらも悪くはない
is at fault.
だからといって、
Even so, we have no right to
お前
tell
に
you
何
to
かを
forgive
許せ
her,
と。だからせめて、
so we won't.
ただ
Just try to
分か
understand.
ってやってくれ。
It doesn't matter how long it takes, how far into the future it happens. Try to understand, Auntie Eva. And every once in a while, remember us. And don't forget about me. Every once in a while, remember this merry, cheerful, attractive paragon of a woman and chant my name in praise 3 times every day. The relative smiled bitterly, apparently disagreeing with some of that last bit, even softly stroking Ange's cheek as she spoke one last time. Oh, Eva, scusa, non even. Eva softly stroked Ange's cheek and spoke one last time. It's okay if you don't forgive your aunt, but still, it's true that I don't hate you. At least understand that. Eva wiped her eyes and slowly stood up. Hideyoshi held her shoulder, and Rudolph and Kirie gathered around her, too. Genji-san, would you mind carrying Ange to somewhere she can lie down? As you wish. Shall I take her to the guest house? It'd be a little sad to leave her all alone there. You're right. Could you carry her to the sofa in the parlor? That way, she'll be able to come back if she wakes up and feels like joining in again. Genji gently lifted Ange up and carried her towards the parlor. Everyone continued to watch over her as she left. Shannon, Canon, in the end, how many medals did Ange gather? She got 17 medals. I see. Then place this by her pillow. Yes, as you wish. Genji carried Ange to the parlor and sat her down on the sofa. Shannon quietly laid a warm blanket on top of her. Canon placed a message card by her pillow, along with that thing Kinzo had given them. This message card reads as follows. We'll all be with you, always, from the Ushiromiya family. And there, right by her pillow, was a gift from Kinzo, a Beatrice doll. Ange, mumbling in her sleep, held it tightly against her cheek. Let us go. We mustn't wake her. Shannon thought she saw something glittering silver near Ange's eye. The servant left and closed the parlor door. As Ange slept, she was wrapped up in the soft sound of the rain. Surely she was reliving the fun evening once more in her dreams. Non mi sono mai scomposto così tanto. Oh, Banquet of Witches and Humans. Ok, un attimo.